Dynamite! Dynamite!
Welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio on a Monday night, live from the basement. I am your man, 50 grand, Kevin Barnes, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. Welcome to the show. Not alone, have my esteemed co-host with me. He's blow upshuating. If you don't know about him, you better ask somebody. What's going on with you, Mr. Carter?
You better ask somebody. Now, how y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk, raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you who I am. The black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, your holistic health and wellness coach, Mr. Kamar Carter. Peace to the family. I'm also one who brings you nature's natural herbs, supplements, and vitality. You can find them both on Facebook at Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements. Or you go to my health page, Healthy Self, Heal Thyself, ask somebody about Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements, and they're going to point you in my direction. Or just go to my page, Kamar Carter, inbox me, and I'll tell you how to get your Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements and or vitality. Y'all come on in. I'm trying to tell you.
That's what's up, man. 414 stand up, Milltown stand up. We try to make this show a representative of our city. We try to stand up for the 414. Both of us is born and raised on the soil here. We're not hiding that fact and very proud to be from here. So not running from the fight, running to it. But welcome to the show, man. This is live from the basement. We haven't been on since last Wednesday. You know, we could take these different breaks, man, and sometimes you just have to recharge your batteries. And so that's what we do. But we're here tonight, so we're gonna talk about everything. As my mama would say, from the rooter to the tutor. We are normally on Mondays through Thursdays. I've given the Big Black Sports Show a hiatus for a second, if you will, and we'll bring that back in about a month or so. Then we do Outlaw Radio again on Wednesday nights, and then Thursday night I usually like to do Outlaw Nation, but I'm trying to reserve that as a space for people to come on and like promote what they do or interview or like promote their business. So that's what I would prefer Outlaw Nation to be. Other than that, it'll just be me talking shit and swallowing spit, which I also don't mind doing, by the way, just in case you ain't figured that out by now. I got my man's with me. I got to figure out what name he going by tonight. What's going on, Rel? I see you got the disco lights in the background. We all we see is a cherry off something you smoking on. What's going on with you tonight?
Chilling, man, chilling. I'm just happy to be here. I ain't at my desk today. My motherfucking neck was hurting when I woke up this morning, man. So I'm shooting from the couch now, so you can still see the background and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm shooting from the couch tonight.
Okay, that's what's up, man. You say it's a good thing to be able to move around. Variety is the spice of life. What we calling you tonight? What name we get? You know, Real always got a name. He swear he don't got no verbs to pop when we start. But what name we going by?
Oh man, you know I got my show enough swag going on today. You know, you got the top knot and the motherfucking
Who's the
roll.
master?
Am I the prettiest?
Welcome to the show, man. It's Outlaw Radio, man. We're gonna get it in, like I said, man. I hate being on the phone, but you know, sometimes we got to take breaks. So check this out. It's about black news. If you have something to say, something you want to contribute, please bang the line. It's 262-202-5131. Once again, that's 262-202-5131. Share the show. That's all we ask. If you like, hit the Cash App. But other than that, just share the show, contribute, get in the chat room, call in, represent, do what you want to do, man. Shout out to my family. We had a family reunion. I wasn't able to attend. One side of my family, I wasn't able to attend, but shout out to y'all, man. I see it looked like it was a good time. I'm slowly but surely coming through like a champion, recovering from my condition my little surgery thing that I had. So I'll be back to full strength to do events like that, you know, sooner or later. But shout out to my family, the Barnes family, man. It looked like they had a good time, man. Of course, we have to also give prayers and condolences. There's still a lot of murder in the city, but there's one event that's kind of sticking out right now, which is the El Rey thing. And I seen the family of the brother who lost his life. The brother who lost his life. Okay, 59-year-old brother who lost his life. I seen his family. It seemed obviously, man, it's always when you lose a family member like that, it's crazy. But they were very hurt. Apparently, this was a good brother. We're gonna talk about that tonight, amongst other things, man. But if you lost somebody over this weekend, or maybe you gained somebody, maybe you had a baby. You know what I mean? Maybe your brother's sister had a baby. Maybe your baby mama had another baby. Maybe it's yours and maybe it's not. Depending on where you standing at, right? So, man, shout out to everybody who supports the show. We really appreciate the love. I see my brothers on here is fucking superheroes. Y'all some ghetto heroes right now, man. You dudes is shooting through the community like comments, right? Like, so Kamar, you always got some shit going. What you got going on? What you got going on with Nature's Nutella?
Well, today I was up at the vocational center. Remember the vocational center I was telling you about, the table?
Okay.
Over on 53rd and Capitol. It's a place where you can bring your kids. You know, they could be doing cooking classes over there. I'm saying we because I'm a part of it, but I'm not actually one of the teachers, right? You know what I mean? I do teach. I do go up there and do different spots, and you know what I mean, and talk to different people or whatever. But what just happened today was they asked me, shout out to Anomalous and her husband Blake. They was on the show, friends of the show. They asked me to come up and talk to the students, the young chefs, and teach them about nutrition and food. You know what I'm saying? And then CMOS ultimately, you know what I mean? And what it do for them and everything. And man, I had a good time with them kids, man. I swear I did, dog. I was laughing, having a ball. I felt like I was in school again, you know what I'm saying? But it was dope, man. You know what I mean? The whole experience. If anybody got any kids out there, you want them to get active in something, you know what I mean? There's some dope stuff. You know what I mean? They're going to teach them about themselves. Like I said, they got art classes where they, you know what I mean, teach you about where they help kids bring out the creativity. You know what I mean? Help them learn how to use their creative mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we done lost also. But yeah, man, that was dope. Tomorrow I'll be at Alice's Garden. Thursday I'll be down at the Fondy Market. Saturday I was gonna be at the Blackout, but I ain't gonna make it because I got a funeral. So you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I try to stay active. That's what it's all about, man. You know what I mean? I try to stay active and I try to keep be a positive example.
I feel like you don't promote your consultation services enough. I feel like you don't explain to people that if they are curious about a holistic lifestyle, or if they are curious about what herbs and supplements and detoxes and sea moss and all these kinds of things are, because we know right now that that's kind of like I don't know how old you all are, but I remember back in the days when Cube said order bootleg t-shirt of the month, which you can't touch this on the front. Like it's always a hustle going in the community, right? Something you can get. And I see a lot of cats talking sea moss, talking juice, talking about detox, talking about all this stuff, right? And people are like, man, it sounds like it's something I should pursue. I think you need to push more that people don't just, it ain't about if you don't want to buy nothing, don't call me, because you will offer consultation services and even support.
You know, often some people ask me for some help, you know what I mean? Or they'll call me and tell me, I want to order some sea moss because I need to do this. I need it to help me with this or whatever. And I tell them, hold on, sea moss may not help you with that. You might want to try this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And a lot of the time, I'm giving them information that they can change in their lifestyle that can help them with their position without them even spending money. And I will let them know on the phone when they talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to spend the money on this sea moss unless you just want to get into the sea moss. You know what I mean? I don't want you to do it thinking that this is finna be the heal all thing. You know what I mean? That either. But, you know, in the long run, yeah, it can correct a lot of issues that we have, a lot of different issues.
Hit this man up. Hit this man up. Hit this man up. I'm trying to tell you. And look, I call him the ghetto witch doctor for a reason. Y'all better, like, what he say? Y'all better come on in.
I'm trying to tell you. hey, kid. Hey, I got to tell you too, man. Hey, look, I be out here recycling one of your lines, man. They loving it too. I tell them, I ain't trying to knock the stuffing out your egg McMuffin. You know? Yeah, I just gotta let you know, man. I'll be running your line before somebody come back and tell you. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Like I stole that from one of my uncles, so I can't even tell.
Look.
Now we got this boy Rail on the other side, and your demand is growing, and
Yeah.
I think people really recognize when they watch the show. A lot of times you contribute to the conversation in a different kind of way, because a lot of times, especially me, because y'all know I will get on some bullshit and be snapping, and Rail will come in with some super intelligent shit. And be no, actually, the theory of this was developed in 1942. I'll be like, damn, Mr. Hefner on point tonight. And you got a couple of books, man. Tell the people about what you do and what you got going on.
I got 12 steps to becoming your own dope. Just my self-love journey, me identifying issues within myself that I needed to address in order to heal and be whole. I discovered shadow work and meditation and things like that. Just cultivating a deeper understanding of myself so that I can look to myself for validation and confirmation instead of needing that external as validation that so many people do the fool for. So I got 12 steps to becoming your own dope available on Amazon. Then I also got the multi-dimensional mindset gratitude journal that is 30 days of cultivating gratitude just to help people shift their perspective and realize that as soon as you wake up in the morning, if you awake in your right mind and able to get out your bed unassisted, shit, you got everything you need to be grateful for today.
That's what's up, man. I'm telling y'all, get with these brothers, man. Get with these brothers. Support these brothers. Support any and everybody you see on this show. Support any, because it's all about us doing for us. And I truly believe in intentional solidarity. Don't get me wrong. I tell some people kiss my ass quick. But I love my people, man. It's just part of who I am, right? So yeah, man, Outlaw Radio, man. Like I said, man, I'm dealing with some young stars in the building, right? Like we do, like Kamar said, we walk it like we talk it. And if you got something popping, hit us up, man. We ain't like that. We'll share. We willing to share the stage. It's enough to go around. Like I said, the El Rey thing was the big news, and I wanted to talk about this because. And we have an individual who listens to our show. His name is Joseph Walker, right? And Joe's a white dude who was shot by the police some years back, and apparently he never received any justice for it, right? And I hope Joe hears this. And he's come on the show. He's been in the chat room. He's contributed. I've actually, like I said, I've interviewed him. It's a white dude from the South Side. But in regards to this shooting, he made a statement on Facebook. If you look on my post in the People's News Network, he says, "Dear Northsiders, don't come over here with y'all foolishness. We don't want y'all over here. We working over here." Right. This was the statement that he made, because this El Rey, I guess, is Miller Parkway. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Oh no, Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez. Okay, thank you, Kumar. Thank you. Cesar Chavez. Now, once again, so let's not act as if the South Side does not have crime. Let's not act as if there hasn't been egregious murders, and not all of them have been committed by Black people. There's white people, there's Hispanic people. I felt like that statement was kind of wet with racism, right? I felt like it was kind of moist, right? Like, with it, and moist is the only word that you can use that makes everybody uncomfortable as soon as you say it. Like, damn, this moist. People like, what the fuck you just say? So I felt like it was moist, and I was thinking, and then when I looked into this thing and I said, what actually happened? Well, the individual that lost his life was a 59-year-old Black man. All right. And the shooter was a Hispanic male. Now, I'm not saying who lived where, but to me, this seemed like a South Side thing. I feel like you sprinkled a little bigotry on it. And I'm not saying Joe is a racist, right? Because he and I have been cool over the years. Like I said, he's been on this show.
Well, it definitely sounds like it.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And like I said, once again, condolences to the family of that brother. He sounded like a great brother. And his family was obviously, if you watch, once again, it's in the People's News Network. Shout out to y'all in the People's News Network, too. We kind of strong over there. If y'all ain't paid attention, there's a lot going on in the People's News Network. But his family was obviously shaken. He sounded like a really good dude. So, but for you to insinuate that this is somehow, I felt like you was kind of putting like saying, okay, well, the black people on the north side will ruin the south side of things. The south side been fucked up, and let me tell you why. Because initially we couldn't even go over there. That's why I was be like, fuck that bridge. And I shout out to you if you live on the south side, right? And understand, I'm speaking metaphorically, right? But it is what it is. Historically they didn't even want us over there, right? If you historically in the city, if you talk about Grappy, leading a march for open housing in which we were confronted by white people who threw bottles and rocks at us. Who's violent? Who violent? Who you talking about? Bring drama. Who you talking about? Fuck up shit. Definitely not those white people who was throwing those rocks and bottles.
You know, usually a lot of the time, man, when it's somebody that say some dumb shit like that, they really don't know what the hell they talking about anyway, man. They coming from a space of hate
and emotions.
You know it ain't no fact in what they talking about. They coming from a space of hate, man. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying that. I ain't trying to come down on the dude either. You know what I mean? But that's what it is.
I understand that, but what I'm doing is I'm laying out this because what people need to know, just in case they haven't been on the south side, if you go on the far south side, it is majority white people, and they don't want you out there. Now the Hispanics and the Asians or whoever live in the lower ends. Now that they have not spread out, but let's talk about what it really is about. Okay, so it is by and large a racist enclave, right? They don't want us out there. That's why they out there, right? They don't. So to say, well, you know, Northsiders don't come over here, like, what the fuck are you talking about? See, that sometimes you got to be aware. It's okay to be out here. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna keep it real, but sometimes you say some dumb shit and it makes you look silly.
How dare you? Who do you think you are to tell somebody they can't go somewhere in the city?
Right. Northside.
This is a whole fucking city, man. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell a race of people or one side, the West Siders, you can't come over here on the East side? Man, fuck that, man. I could go to the store over there. This is a whole motherfucking city, man. Fuck out of here. You don't own shit.
But it's not like the South Side is
and
that.
And like I said, the way that statement sounds, it does sound racist.
It's not that side.
Because, like you said, for years we've never been accepted over there like that, and for you to actually say it,
well,
once again, I am getting kind of upset.
You are, and that's what I was going to say.
You know what I mean? I am saying that unrespectfully.
You are, and you doing. If people don't listen to the show, they got to understand this is exactly what we said we wouldn't do when a white person makes an asinine statement, is give them a whole bunch of energy and a whole bunch of power. I'm just saying that the sentiment was expressed by somebody who's been a supporter of my show, right? Like, so you never know who you speaking to when we do what we do. That's why it's so important.
We got a troll that support the show too. That's okay.
Yeah, but you know,
everybody got it.
He's been he's been who he was from the start. Like this dude was kind of like he was a friend of the show. I'm not saying he's not. Joe, if you listening, holler at me. Just at least let's talk about what you said in terms of north side, the north side fucking up the south side. Don't come over here with that shit. Like,
you
what?
Can't paint spots on the cheetah. The spots going. I mean, you can't paint spots on the mountain lion. You know what I mean? The spots gonna fall off eventually. And it sounds like this is what may have just happened.
Yeah. Once again, it's more important to recognize. Once again, we live in a city that has a serious problem with violence.
Shit, right? Yeah, we all got it fucked up out here. What's wrong with
it? And so it's not. People would like to compartmentalize it or you know, put it on a certain group of people. It's very easy to say, oh, well, black people be fucking everything up. But if you really do the math and get the real information, it's all kinds of white crime. It's all kinds of Latino crime. It's all types of Asian crime. Crime is not, we're not the poster children for crime.
They try to make us.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just going to say they try to make us. The thing is, when other people commit crimes, you just, when you see it on the news or in a newspaper article, it's just a person, you know, allegedly did this shit.
Right.
But when it's a black person, they got the nigga whole name, they got his picture. He ain't even been convicted of shit yet. Like, I ain't know they can even do that. But motherfucker don't even be convicted of shit. And it's like, it's Earl Stevens. Well, no, that's E40. Let me check that. You know, it's Earl Jenkins, 4401 North 46th Street. And he went to Riverside. It'd be like, God damn. You know, they had a whole background on the motherfucker before he convicted anything, but
and he has a history of drinking.
Right. But when there's other races that do
You know,
shit,
they got to say something about him too.
Right. You know, they always got he was caught with a nickel bag back in '86. You know.
Yeah.
But once again, I'd like somebody to tell me this. We ain't gonna spend a whole lot of time on it because, like I said, one thing we do realize on this show is that we give a lot of power to white folks. We put a lot of weight on what they say a lot of times, and we're a little bit too sensitive about some of the bullshit they say. And by this point, no black person should be surprised when a white person says something that's like, damn, that sounded racist. Like, what are you surprised? Like, once again, I'm not saying this dude is a racist because, like I said, we had a very cordial conversation when he was on the show. He's always been very involved in the chat room, so I don't know what this is about. Maybe he spoke emotionally, but once again, the main point of this is we have a problem in Milwaukee with violence. And somebody tell me if the shooter, who, like I said, was a Hispanic male, was he a Southsider? Because if he was a Southsider and he shot a brother, and God forbid the brother was from the North Side, you certainly was barking up the wrong tree.
Do they say how it escalated to gunplay? Like, what happened? I ain't hear nothing about this.
From what I've gathered, there was this individual had a backpack and a mask on, and he was accused of stealing, right? And so supposedly there was a confrontation, and he was removed from the store, and the confrontation kind of escalated in the parking lot, and it was actually two security guards and him, and he had a gun, and apparently at one point the gun came out, they shot at each other, and the security guard was killed. Now, if you have more information regarding this, please enlighten me, right? Like, because I'm only gonna read horrible shit like so much. I'm not a forensic detective, so I don't be like, and see, the shots were fired from the mezzanine and all that shit.
So the black dude was a security guard that ended up dying. So he was a honest working man on the South Side type shit.
Yes.
So I think dudes probably spoke out of pocket, but I mean, I don't know the dude like that, but I know me, and I know that everybody got a little prejudice in them, and they come out every now and again, and maybe this was just his moment to shine. I mean, I know if a motherfucker cut me off in traffic and they ain't black, they all kind of whatever the fucks they is. So I can't, all I can do is examine me,
Right.
So I don't know, but it's fucked up a motherfucker getting killed trying to do their job.
Shout out to Tiarsha Arthur. She said, "Good evening, Kev, Kamar, Rel. How you doing, my sister?
What's happening?
Support of the show. Share the show, y'all. Share the show. Let's bring the village in. Let's talk about
Let
this.
me make sure I share
it. And so this is a point too, Rel, of what you're saying. Like people oftentimes who are racist or people who don't like another race are ignorant, and it's usually based on ignorance. But sometimes you have kind of like a reaction, what they call it, a visceral reaction, right? Like, because when I seen the shooting in Buffalo, right? Off the top, I said some foul shit about white people.
It happens, man.
I don't even gotta repeat it, but I was sitting there like these, right? And so
it happens.
When I seen the young brother Jalen Walker get shot 60 times in Akron, I said some foul shit to the TV, right? Like, and so even if you are out there and you're a racist or you feel however you want to feel, you got the right to that opinion, right? I'm not, so I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm not trying to reteach you nothing, right? But I'm just saying, when you say it in the proximity of really informed, intelligent black people, we ain't gonna blow up like, we're gonna be like, what the fuck you just say? Get the fuck out of here. We just
not only that, but you got to be willing to take what a motherfucker gonna say back to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be mindful of the shit you say now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because somebody may be offended.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. That's why we always say the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at.
Yeah.
That's our disclaimer, right? So, but anyways, I hope I hope there's some sort of justice here.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
They can't replace this brother. He's 59. I think he had children. He had grandchildren. Like he was doing his job.
Yeah.
And they said now his family, the shooter's family, also I seen an interview with them where they were saying, look, he was basically kind of stereotyped because he had this mask on and he had a backpack. And like, why would he steal? He didn't have he wasn't a thief. We don't know him to be a thief. So the root of this dispute, I am not fully aware of yet. All I know is it resulted in somebody losing their life, which is dumb as hell, right? So but his family saying, well, he was profiled because he had this mask on and he had a backpack. I heard
the Hispanic guy that was on the South Side was profiled.
Well, apparently so. Now I heard some people even say, I even heard some people say this brother may have prevented a mass shooting because this dude did it. That's going a little far. If he had heat in his backpack, who knows what his lifestyle was? I mean, some cats carry heat in their backpack. It is what it is. So I don't know. I don't have all the details. Tiasha Arthur said the clear people posted his the clear people posted his most wanted fire on WICN 12. He was part of the Buffum Boys. The story is he was in there stealing and security ran outside and the guy shot at him and security shot at him. Okay, so he's part of the Buffum Boys. So I guess has some North Side allegiances.
This the Hispanic guy that was part of the Buffum Boys?
The shooter.
From the North Side. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out because like you said profiling, but it's a Hispanic dude on the South Side. But
his name sounded Hispanic to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm gonna get his name. Now y'all got me.
Yeah, because now they saying Buffum Boys. I'm like, oh
no, but it was definitely his name was definitely a Hispanic name. Let me find it. Unless somebody else out there has it. I'm reading it because it was when I read his name, I said that motherfucker ain't from the North Side. Maybe that's just the racist in me.
Right.
See,
hey, y'all know a lot of Hispanics on the east side too.
Yeah.
Right. That's me. Once again, I said it's me. He is a Hispanic dude. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know he was Julio Gonzalez or something, man. You know, one of them dudes. I don't know. But once again, this is what happens, and this is why you cannot really jump off the cliff when somebody says something because you don't know. I don't know where. I didn't know who was from where. I just looked at it like, wow, murder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, this is sad. A 59-year-old brother lost his life at work.
Took away from his family.
Right. I wasn't even thinking about let's geographically figure out where the crime is coming from. Like I wasn't. And that's not my job. So hit us up, man. Let us know how y'all feel. Thank you, Tiarsha. Tiarsha is a strong supporter of the group. I'm glad she hit me, said, I don't even got to go find his name. She said he is a Hispanic dude. Okay, so we good with that. What else we got going on? Now, y'all see, this is something else I seen too. And shout out to Miss Beverly Williams, who was on the show. And she's responsible for the community takeover of MPS, which we big up. Like what the thing she's doing with MPS, we big up. And I big up Miss Beverly. She posts in the 414. I'm sorry, the information, the news network. She posts in there in our group. But okay, so she has a problem with Ice Cube, right? Because Ice Cube is coming out saying both of these political parties are bullshit, right? Yeah.
He been saying that.
He got the right to say that.
Right.
He been saying that.
Right away.
What's happening?
Juice lady in the building. What it do, sis?
How y'all doing?
We tight like that booty. What's good with you? Tight like that booty on a Monday night. What's popping? Okay, so we know we talk all the time because on this show, if you're just tuning in, we refer to ourselves as the party poopers, right? We poop on both political parties because of their egregious treatment of us, right? Like there's too many disparities for me to say, oh, the Republicans love us, or the Democrats love us. I believe at the end of the day, they both be like, fuck black people, right? We'll get to them last, right? So it's okay to tell people that neither party really has our best interest at heart. And I don't think Ice Cube was telling people not to vote. No. Because that's not what we say. We say it's okay to pick a side, but be informed about the side that you select. So if you are a staunch Republican and you're a black person, and I say, well, why do you really support Republicans? Be able to articulate that. Don't sell me. Look, I don't drink the Kool-Aid, so don't give me no shit you done heard on Fox News or CNN. Give me some real live reasons why, as a black person, you choose to go with this party who've over and over again been on some fuck black people type shit. Now, at the same token, if you are a staunch Democrat, and I say, well, why do you support the Democrats so much? Be able to articulate it, right? And I'm because when I look at the candidates, I'm gonna say I'm voting for the one that appeals to me the most, the one that I feel like has my best interest at heart. It's not about a donkey, it's not about an elephant to me. I don't exercise groupthink. I need to take time, get all the information, and make my own mind up. So she was mad. She was angry at some of the posts he was putting out. She was saying, "Don't share any of Ice Cube talking about the upcoming elections because he's encouraging people not to vote, which is basically going to put Trump back in the White House." And it was kind of like this whole. So I was like, "Damn, Miss Bev, I can't ride with you on that." And once again, she is absolutely a friend of the show. And she came on here and gave a great interview, and she's very knowledgeable about what needs to happen in NPS. But once again, this is where we part ways at on this. And her and I discussed this when she came on last time.
It's okay to disagree sometimes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody's point of view needs to be heard.
Shit, I was with
It's
Ice
very
Cube.
important. It's very important to get many different perspectives. You know what I mean, on all these situations. It's very important. A lot of our people, we stuck in one way and stuck. We figure this is supposed to be like this, so this is how it is. Ice Cube out of order, that's what it, well, no, we need some more people to talk about Ice Cube too. You know what I mean? That can give some better perspective too. I feel like Ice Cube had a right to say both these parties is bullshit. And it's okay to say that. You know what I mean? We need our people to think. You know what I mean? Start thinking. Why would both the parties be some bullshit? Right. I mean, well, Ice Cube can tell you why. He went to one party and talked to them. They shut him down, told him wait till after the election. They never did get back to him. You know what I'm saying?
Never did shit for us.
On some bullshit too. So yeah, both parties is bullshit. I can say that.
And I will say this. Sometimes we make assumptions. So in order for when you say, because she said, well, until you come with a third party that represents black people, stop talking about it because you're really just discouraging people to vote. But I'm like, I feel like you are treating people like they stupid, like grown ass people, like we so dumb that Ice Cube said don't vote. What the fuck? Are we really like
Ice Cube said don't vote, so I ain't vote.
Man, Lionel Richie told me to vote Republican. I'm voting all night long.
There's a lot of people that's a lot like that though. It's a lot of people. Like
when
it came to that shot, I told you, my brother, he the same age as y'all. And I remember he told me, he was like, well, I seen, he seen some rapper, was it DJ Envy or something? He was like, well, I seen so getting it. So shit, I figured I should get it too. Then my mama said she seen one of them old ladies in the commercial, one of them singers, not Patti LaBelle, but the other one. She was like, well, she was on TV telling us that we should get it. And I know she would just lead us wrong, would she?
Right.
Like,
that's what, man.
Shit. For this commercial, so just know that it's people that's really like they wouldn't steer us wrong. Like
you've been steered wrong our whole life.
Steered wrong.
Exactly. It's niggas that's really listening to celebrities and
it is
about what they say.
And that's why they drop a lot of money on celebrities to have them get his message, because they know people gonna be like, well, Juvie came out with Vax that thing up, so it must be okay. You know, it's like he redid his song and shit, telling people to get this. Like I was like, damn, Juvie, you must ain't never heard of Miss Evers Boys and shit. Like the Tuskegee experiments. You must ain't never heard of the Guatemalan STD experiments done in the 60s that motherfucker still sterilized from. Like it's too much historical shit, not even theories. It's too much historical shit as to why I wasn't fucking around. And then Christmas came around and showed people how useless that motherfucking jab was when all the teachers was sick. And they was forced to get the jab.
That's exactly real. Golly, that's exactly what I was finna say. If you took the vaccine, right? And once again, y'all let me know. This is always, objective for me. I'm objective because I believe you can't just be on your own shit all the time. You're gonna be walking around dumb as hell. You need to consider both sides. If you got the vaccine, do you now feel stupid? Do you feel like a science experiment? Because check this out. They talked you into taking a vaccine that, number one, didn't prevent you from acquiring it, and it didn't prevent you from spreading it, And as a matter of fact, then they came back again and said, "Oh, our bad. We got to give you some more. Come back and get a booster." Have you heard booster? I haven't heard anybody talk about boosters now. And COVID, once again, along with motherfucking monkeypox, is out here now. We just had our first case of monkeypox.
Man, yeah, right? that shit. So, I wonder if that person was vaccinated.
Well, but I'm saying if you took the vaccine and you're out there, I'm asking, I'm not accusing. Please tell me what was the benefit of it. Well, I was less sick than I know people who did not get vaxxed at all, and they've had COVID at least 2-3 times, and they still come out of it and be like, man, I'm good again. I don't know what long-term effects it will have because I don't know what long-term effects of vaccination or whatever the fuck was in that shot, whatever was in that needle. I just like to know people who did it and they was kind of walking around looking at people who hadn't taken it like, yeah, motherfucker.
They was snooty as hell. They was judgmental as hell. Yeah. You playing with people's lives. If you kiss your great grandmama, and it's like, dude, it's really, if you go to the CDC, like I have to show people. Okay, let's go to the CDC website. Okay, 5 million confirmed cases, such and such thousand deaths. Let's divide these deaths by cases, and it came to the same 98% survival rate that motherfuckers was getting put in Facebook jail for. Like, but I had to show people this. Like, it's on the CDC website. No, they're not gonna broadcast it and put it as plain as day because they bank on people ignorance. That's why they use a lot of That's why they use a lot of statistics.
They figure the Mexicans can't read it. And niggas ain't gonna read it.
They come with a lot of statistics because people say, "Oh, okay, well those are stats."
Kamar, that was racist as hell. I gotta y'all call me out when I'm on my. Why you want to assume Mexicans can't read? These Mexicans.
That was real shit,
English. It's English.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I ain't being racist. I'm being real. And I'm saying I'm talking about what the clear people think. What the clear people figure, you know what I mean? They figure Mexicans can't read it and niggas ain't gonna read it.
Okay, Tiarsha Arthur said they never said it would keep you from getting COVID. It keeps you from going to the hospital.
They said that at first.
Hold on.
At first, they said they were doing it in patterns. Take this and save a life. And then it's like, oh motherfucker, how am I saving lives if I can still catch it and spread it? Okay, well. Take it so that you don't get hospitalized, so somebody who really need a room can get a room. Like they've been shuffling and shuck jiving with this shit.
And even to that comment, I want to say I didn't get vaccinated and I had it, and I didn't have to I didn't get on no ventilator. And as a matter of fact, I was at the hospital, and when they told me I had it, me and my wife was like, "Oh, so is he gonna be admitted?" I was like, "Hell no, he got to go home."
Hell no, take his ass home.
But unfortunately, you know, this is why I tell people to study Edward Bernays and the power of propaganda and public relations.
Yeah.
Because especially our people, because we are so inclined to passionate emotion, they fuck us every time using either our fear or our outrage. They got people jabbed using fear. They got people. You know, like even with the whole voting last time, when Ice Cube said, "Hey y'all, let's not vote until one of these motherfuckers say they gonna ride for us." He didn't say don't vote. He said let's withhold our vote until one of these motherfuckers show what they really trying to do for us. Especially since it was black people and women that got Biden into office out of outrage and fear. Everybody I talk to is like, "Hey dog, so why? Well, I gotta vote because otherwise they're gonna cut my grandmama Medicaid. So we voting for our benefits." Or the other people is, "I just got to get this motherfucker out. He racist."
Rail, that's the first time I ever heard you do your coon voice. He said,
"He said the fist pump vehemently. We got our benefits. We need this shit. We need it." You know, it's like, and then or people like, "Well, I just got to get this motherfucker out because he racist." Hey, well, you know, he was talking about bringing jobs back to the hood. He racist. And y'all know he gave money to the HBCU. He racist. So it was like outrage and fear gets us fucked every time.
Right.
You know,
but that's psychology.
You know what's funny is like people talk about people who didn't vote, right? Like you didn't vote. If you didn't vote for Hillary, you voted for Trump. You the reason. But Hispanic women and white women voted heavily for Trump. I never hear nobody putting that shit on them. And right now, since there's inflation, I hear a lot of black people saying we need to get Trump back. I'm like,
See,
what? Why?
I didn't vote because if I went to vote, I was voting for Trump. I wasn't like, my thing is this, and people was mad at me for saying this shit, but my thing is I respect the motherfucker that let you know. Like, I don't really fuck with Democrats anyway, because they gonna skin and grin while they fuck you anyway. Like when I tell people they two wings on the same fucked up bird, but Republicans is the nigga that's gonna strong arm the pussy, and the Democrats are the nigga that's gonna roofie a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? They both fucking them.
Those are absolutely some street kind of ways to put it. I totally do understand.
But I gotta put it like that. The Republicans is the gorilla pimp that's gonna beat a bitch into compliance. Democrats are the nigga that's gonna get her strung up on boy and heroin and isolated from her family. So that's what benefits do.
You need me, baby. Down. This is good. So
that's all yours, baby. That's all yours. That's all yours. But you know, that's what Democrats say. You need me, baby. Don't you want your benefits? Don't you see what they doing to abortion? You need me. Right? You need me. You can't do it by yourself.
So check this out. I want black people to understand too. We are subjective as well as objective. And if you are a person out there and you feel a certain way, please don't feel like we are like you can't contribute to the conversation. If you're a black Republican, a black Democrat, if you like Trump, if you don't like Trump, whatever side of the fence you're from, this is us talking to us. So this is the People's Network. This is Outlaw Radio. This conversation is for black people, right? So like if you say, no, I don't agree with y'all, just like I wanted to make a point.
And that's cool too.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer, right? Because I believe it's a person's choice.
Right.
Do whatever they want to do.
Body autonomy.
I wasn't pro-vax. I wasn't anti-vaxxer. They say I can neither confirm nor deny those rumors, right? Like, so I do what you want to do. The only question I was asking is, I want people who are taking it to this point to say whether or not they feel duped, because a lot of people are suffering some health issues right now. Mm-hmm. And a few of them have said, this shit started when I took that vaccination. This shit started when I don't know whether you took Moderna or whether you took
man,
what was the other one, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and they became name brands and shit. Like
there was a whole Instagram page I used to follow. I think it was called Portraits of COVID or something like that. But basically, there was an artist who anybody who had an adverse effect and shared their story with him, he painted a portrait of them and shared their story.
Right.
It's people that were prime condition triathletes that they like, you know what, people trying to tell me I'm crazy, but I know ever since I took the jab, I can't even inhale right because I got so many blood clots in my lungs. Like, you know, that was even the hashtag. It was called real, not rare, because they were saying these side effects are real, not rare. The Instagram blocked that hashtag, but there was so many. I think it was called Portraits of COVID or something like that. But before I stopped seeing him in my timeline, he painted at least 30 different people. Some of them wasn't even the people who took it. They were the people who lost their parent because my parent was healthy. They just took it as a precaution because they knew the holidays was coming up and they wanted to see their grandkids. Mm-hmm. They took it and they health declined. That, you know, so it's like, and I don't want to guilt anybody or scare anybody who did it. That's your right. But my issue was when people turn shit into religion. Like, people was looking at me like I'm a fucking terrorist because I said, hey, I had it already. And if the goal is to immunize people, then I was naturally immunized when I had it.
Because your body fought it off.
Right. And my body naturally produced the shit, and it will be able to produce it every time it get it now instead of being manufactured into this one variant.
Like still out here. It's still out here, by the way, y'all.
Oh, listen, yeah.
Once again, I want people to understand that we've been told a bunch of different things about this situation, and almost none of them have been true. And they've changed it so many times and expected you not to remember that you said some different shit last week. Right? So it's just, and then people go, because people get scared and they say, I just need some relief. and they go and do what they do, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with any of that.
Exactly.
Once again, this was just a question I posed. Do you feel a little duped because like now it's on the rise again, and we got to be careful again because when I see more people getting it now and recovering from it, like boom, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just one of those things. It's Outlaw Radio on the Monday night live from the basement, man. Y'all hit us up 262-202-5131. Share the show. Follow the show. Go subscribe to our YouTube. My YouTube page is
what is the YouTube channel?
We're live on YouTube right now.
No, I mean, what's the name of it? I tried to find it the other day. I looked up Outlaw Radio.
I had to spell it different for.
Okay, cool. Send me the spelling of it. Yeah, and I'll start sharing it. But
actually,
yeah,
I don't spell Outlaw Radio different. I spell the People's Network different.
Yeah, you spelled it with a Z now, right?
Yeah, it's the People's Network. And I'll send you the link because I always share the YouTube joint too. So, but man, we just trying to get some traction, man. Let me see. Room. Rudy Dolomite said, "I'm learning so much from you guys tonight. I love it. Never got the shot, and I feel great. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for supporting the show, my brother." Tiarsha said, "I haven't had any side effects, and I still wear my mask. I have mask that matches my outfits." Now that's some black people shit right there.
You know it is.
Well, that's my pops, man. Like we'll hop out at Walmart. He throw his mask on because I don't trust these niggas out here. And right. I said, Pops, do you realize that the CDC said the mask is for you not to spread it? It ain't for you. I said, so you going in here not trusting them and you protecting them from you. That ain't stopping shit from coming through your man. He like, yeah, but it made me feel bad. And that's cool. That's and that's my thing. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of their security blankets or what they need to keep their peace of mind. Because ultimately, as a mental health advocate, I care about your state of mind. And some people need whatever the fuck. Lucky rabbit's paw, lucky socks, whatever.
Yeah, man.
Do your thing that's going to crystals. Do your thing.
That blessed oil in your purse, right? Like thanks, man.
But it still speaks to the power again of public perception, which is why people need to study Edward Bernays and propaganda. Like Democrats always use our emotions against us. So now I'm curious about what Ice Cube said this time for real. Did he say not vote or did he say, hey, y'all hold off your vote until they try to revisit this shit that I brought him up at the other election?
I think he was just being more critical of both parties and saying to black people, and this is the truth about this whole issue. A very, 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 very long time ago, right? Like we should have established our own party.
Yeah.
This is the most simple shit that I've ever seen. Like, how has this not happened? We a long time ago, even okay, so even when you come out of slavery and then there's Reconstruction, right? And there's black elected officials who finally get elected into office. But right to counter that, whatever we got through during Reconstruction, then they put in like the black codes. And that it turns into Jim Crow, which in itself was basically just saying, nah, we was just kidding. Y'all ain't free, motherfucker. We just fucking with y'all. We just want the war to end. Now, at that point, I feel like the black thinkers in this country, the black intellectuals should have said, you know what? Let's just form our own party. And whoever wants our vote, right? And keep at that time, we didn't even have voting rights, right? We didn't even have political rights, which should have been all the more reason for us to say, let's get together and have our own party, right? So we'll have a say-so in this. Now, if that evolves over the years, you get to the point now where whatever party really wants that black vote, which is very, very crucial, then they got to come correct. They got to say, we have to say, when you come to us, when you come to our convention, right? When you come to our convention, we have it in Atlanta or some shit, Detroit or some shit, Compton or something. I don't know. Right. And you come to our shit, and when you get done with the concert, because we got to have a concert and all that shit, then now you get a chance. You get a chance to present what your plan, right? Because that's what Cube said was the contract for Black America.
Right.
It's no different from the Panthers saying was the 10-point program or there's been attempts to write black agendas, but we've never just said, okay, this is what's up right here. This is our word right here.
That shit, Kev?
Well, no, I'm not really.
Kev don't never want to do the shit. Kev got the plan, don't ever.
Kev learned so much about the activism and the grassroots Man, I left there running. I said, no, I would never do this. It's a complete, and maybe it's because just because I'm in Milwaukee, but it was some true clown shit. When I was out here organizing and protesting and going in, I said, "What a bunch of fucking clowns! Let me take my internet."
That's why we can never be great, because niggas be motherfucking clowns, man.
And two, I want people to know, I professionally I work in the community. That's what I do for a living. So I don't got to go to no protests or nothing. I've been working in my community for 20 years. So I'm like, why the fuck you even doing that? They're not paying you for that shit. At least over here you get a pension. Like, so yeah, I don't. Once again, shout out to you if you out there and you say, no, Kev, we got to march, we got to mobilize, that's cool, man. Y'all gonna do that shit. Come on here, talk about it. I'll support you. Big ups to you. But you just won't catch my black ass out there. I'm not. You go when we would go and ride on Arabs for selling rotten meat to the community and selling all kinds of old food, overpriced old food, and the biggest blowback that you get was from the black people in the community. Leave our motherfucking Arabs alone, man. That's our stove, man. Why y'all fucking with them? I'm like, ain't this a bitch? So I'm cool. Y'all go eat that rotten ass meat. Get you some detox from Kamar or something and shit all that bad bacon out your guts you've been. I love bacon, by the way, but you eating rotten bacon, expired bacon, or from a smiling Arab. So yeah. But yeah, it's Outlaw Radio, man. We get to talk shit sometimes. Really off the course. Tiarsha Arthur, she said, Rail, your dad is right. The mask keeps the airborne germs from touching him. When a motherfucker cough or sneeze, make sure he wears a 3-layer mask or N95 mask. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Stop it from touching you.
I don't know. You know what? I be forgetting.
I mean, it helps him feel better, and that's dope. That's all that matters.
They don't touch I mean, even though you got the mask on, it don't touch no other part of your body. Somebody sneeze, that mask.
Right.
The water droplets, yeah. I mean, it provides some sort of barrier, but they have showed that the size of the shit, if you can still smell shit through the mask, shit is still those molecules that are small enough to hit your olfactory glands are getting through that motherfucking mask, and the virus is even smaller. So
well, I mean, somebody said if a pair of drawers and some jeans can't stop a fart, how the hell we gonna stop COVID?
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it do provide a barrier. It provides a barrier, and it provides a peace of mind for a lot of people. So hey, if you wear it, still do your thing. It's just I try to get fresh air as often as possible. Me personally.
Look, it was this lady that got in my Uber one day, and I was sitting there. I didn't have no mask on. This when it was still mandatory, and she had her mask on, and she hopped in, older woman, and she was like, white woman. Excuse me, can you put your mask on, please? And I'm like, all right. So I put the mask on, but my thing was, motherfucker, I've been in this vehicle for how long without the mask? So nigga, if the COVID is in this motherfucker, it's floating around now.
It's floating around
like this mask on for what? But it's like, okay.
Hey, it helped her feel better. It helped her enjoy her ride.
Right. It's like, all right.
You know what you should have did? You should have put the mask on and just start coughing like a motherfucker.
That would have fucked her up.
I mean, and to each his own, and like I said, I'm not trying to downplay anybody. If you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. It's just the wildest shit though that's been amusing to me is like how the sides reversed. How like it wasn't like fuck body autonomy when it came to the jab, but now that the whole abortion thing is a discussion, now the other side is talking about body autonomy. Like we have the right, and it's like, man, everybody got the right. Do as thou wilt. Who was that? Aleister Crowley or some shit?
Yeah, there you go. Be careful how you put it out there, Jay-Z. Right.
Oh yeah, they gonna think I'm in the motherfucking. And he got
Outlaw Radio is Illuminati, man.
He got a red and black rope on. He a monk of Satan because he got a red and black rope.
Herbs.
Like, I'm trying to get my little black card there, and we a part of that. Shit.
Right. I mean, my thing is as a conscious, sentient being, you are a step away from God, and meaning that you have the power to determine your environment. So so whatever you choose to do, rock out with your cock out.
Yeah. And you know what? Shout out to brother Che from Frontline Black News in Shabaka. Tabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. I say this all the time. If anybody got the right to do whatever the fuck they want to do, it's black people. You rarely catch me telling a black person what they should do. Because we done been told for so long what we can't do, who we can't be, what we can't say, where we can't go. I feel like when a black person say I do what I want to do, I be like, do that shit, cuz.
If it ain't hurting nobody else.
Look, even if it is, you're gonna pay for that shit too. That's what I do, cuz. All right, well, you know what I'm saying?
It was somebody we had a discussion earlier today with somebody, and we could be amicable, and I ain't that kind of person. They was like, it's the weirdest flex to brag about still listening to R. Kelly, some shit like that. And I'm like, damn, like now they policing who I don't give a fuck if you listen to him or you don't listen to him. That's that's you. Like we turn everything into a religion, some of us. Whether it's our diet, you only need to eat this, or you're killing yourself, or we turn just do you, and do you so well that you might inspire somebody else to emulate you. Right. That's all you can do. Stop worrying about what the fuck other people do, what they listening to, whatever else type shit.
And to that, is R. Kelly now engaged to one of his victims? They said she's so, what's her name? Jocelyn Savage, is that her name? They said she's so brainwashed, he's now engaged to her.
I've seen that. I didn't click and read the story, but I definitely saw.
And then there's stories floating around that one of the young ladies has admitted that her mother coached her up on how to seduce R. Kelly, and even try and attempt to get pregnant by him and have a baby by him.
I told y'all that a couple episodes ago. I said, y'all know some of them people was like, he a good man. He go ahead and sit on his lap, girl. He got a record deal for you. You know,
that's what they say. He a good man. Like
just like they did in the Color Purple days. Now you go ahead and marry Mr. Wilson. I know you're 12 and he 19, but he got a good field job.
Damn,
got a good field job.
But the shit ain't new, man.
Right, no.
The time, and I'm not condoning it. That ain't even my thing.
Just for the fact that it's known, this is my thing. Just for the fact that it's known that this brother purposely went to a McDonald's where teenagers was at, and that was
that shit crazy. That shit wild.
For that, enough for me is enough for him to go and do his time, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying he.
What they ain't gonna do?
Shit.
They ain't finna sit there and tell me that Home Alone I can't bump. That's some shit from my college years. That's some shit that I seen turn parties inside out with Keith Murray and Drinks in the Air party. I'd live through that shit.
Yeah.
When a woman's fed up,
be a party, y'all.
I mean, come on, man. Like when you talking about, come on, man. Look, you won't get to take the right from me. If you can still listen to Elvis, I can still listen to him. If you can still listen to Michael Jackson, and I ain't saying he touched them little boys, but he admitted that he liked to sleep in the bed with little boys. For me, that's some lock-upable shit. Can you say, is that a lock-upable? I don't know what that is.
We read words around here. It's cool.
Right. It is now. But I'm just saying, you don't get to tell nobody what people still listen to John Lennon. Imagine all the people beating the shit out of his wife, right? Like he just deadbeat dad. And like, I mean, come on, man. Like most of the celebrities that you look up to in real life were assholes. Like, and you've never even heard the term "be careful about meeting your idols." Like when you idolize somebody, meet them finally. Like we just showed this with the little boys. Last week we talked about the little boys trying to get Michael Jordan's autograph, and one of them had on some Jordans, and Jordan stiff armed them. I had to fuck about here.
I threw that shit out on some bitch ass.
And it happened a lot. I know when George Lopez, because that motherfucker funny. Whenever I watch George Lopez's comedy shit, he talk about how Ponce shitted on him when he was a kid. So every time somebody bring up Eric Estrada, he be like, fuck that puto. He like, I used to love him. I used to love Chips. I asked the motherfucker for a handshake, and he like, so it happens a lot. I mean, celebrities are talented people with problems. Everybody got problems. They just got talents.
I seen a long time ago, I was working in County Stadium, and Bo Jackson was playing for the White Sox, and he was out there warming up before the game, and there was a bunch of little kids leaning over the fence like, Bo, and he was like, get away from me. I don't do all that.
Bo was a fucking asshole.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah, I got a story about Bo Jackson.
Hold on. So what happened was once he was doing that, we saw he was doing that to the kids. It was probably about 5 of us, and one of my coworkers said, "Oh, Bo, you a bitch. That's out of order." He said, "What? Who said that?" He ran up in the stands, and he ran up on the person who didn't say it. I know who said it. It wasn't me, but he ran up, and I ain't gonna lie. Up close, this dude looked like he was a motherfucking X-Man. I said, "That's the swollest nigga I ain't." And Paul,
yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, Bo was big as fuck.
When I'm talking about this dude was like, I said, "This dude, what the hell?" And he said, "What you say?" And the dude's like, "I ain't say nothing." And he just went back on the field. You know, we us. As soon as I said, I told him, "Fuck you," because I sued him. I'm like, you didn't want to see that man. That man arm like this big. I said, "Damn." So point is, he was the asshole too, and he had a problem. Like I don't sign autograph. You get your ass out of here. What was you going to say?
I got a story about Bo Jackson.
Okay.
Damn.
You know, back in my rapper days, me, Cuckoo Cow, and Busy Bone had the same manager.
Okay.
So we went on to a video shoot with Cuckoo and Busy Bone, and we shot the part of the video in Atlanta. Then we got to Alabama, and we went to Alabama. We was sitting in the hotel. You know what I mean? We just waiting around for the director to get the permits and shit together. But while we was waiting, Bo Jackson and his white lady came walking through. You know what I mean? You know, we see Bo, we like, "Hey, what up, Bo? What's happening, Bo?" Dog looked at us and kind of mean mugged us, didn't say shit and kept going. Dog, one of Busy homies ran up on him. And our manager caught him, you know what I'm saying? Like, "Dog, you out of order." You know, now we all talking here like, "Dog, you out of order, Bo. Fuck you. Fuck Bo." You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we had got pissed for a minute.
Right.
But yeah, Bo's an asshole, man.
Damn.
And he's just one of many. He's just one of many. T.R. Arthur said, as long as your mouth and nose is covered, if it touch your hand, you can use hand sanitizer, which is why I add rubbing alcohol in it. So far, so good. Knock on wood. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. When they told me I had it, the first thing I did was I looked up and said, "God, I'm gonna need you right now." That's why you don't hear me run around with people. Ain't no God, ain't no devil. Yeah, you keep that shit over there with you, because I stay true to it. He said, "You all right, Kev? I got you." Because it wasn't like that. Like I said, when I was at the hospital, my wife and they're like, "Okay, so what do we need?" It was like, "Well, ain't nothing. Let's go home. If it get worse, bring him back. If he can't breathe, bring him back." But other than that, you got to go in the room and just
that's all they're gonna take
and be confined. Like, so it was like, all right. So, you know, God brought me through that. I don't know what and I don't know what you call him out there. You can call him Leroy. You can call him whatever you want to call him. J. Host of who. I call him God. And when I had, and then Kamar brought me a bag of goodies, and my wife had me stoked up on some goodies, and the brothers was able to stand up again. Like, we got a show tonight. Like, damn, I thought you was dead. Like, no, I'm back.
There you go.
He didn't say that. Kamar didn't say he thought.
I'm like, nigga, chill out. I'm like, dog, chill out, man. Take it easy. Take it easy. Get back, breathe, man. Just breathe.
Tiarsha said, "I want to know how did R. Kelly get charged for the same thing he was acquitted for some years ago? Different cases, because they had racketeering in here and trafficking. Last time I don't think it was trafficking or racketeering. I don't know
damn.
But this was a whole new case.
Like I said, it was a whole new case.
And you know, back then it wasn't called sex trafficking.
It was called white slavery.
Person back then.
Back then it was just about fucking with little girls, pissing on little girls and shit. You know what I mean? And remember, he was talking about how he was paying off all them people, and I think by him paying them people off, and he sung his way up out that shit. And, you know what I'm saying? Put it right under the rug.
Put on a Zorro mask, do a couple spins and stepping songs and
That's
shit.
exactly what he did, real.
Yeah.
But then he started calling himself the Pied Piper. Somebody said, "Rob, this is not a good look." You know what he did, right? Like, he led rats. He blew his flute and he led rats. Like, bro, you should call yourself the Pied Piper.
I thought the Pied Piper lured little kids.
Right. I was gonna say I heard he led children, not rats.
Oh no. Okay, so did they hire him to get the rats and he ended up taking the children?
Right.
They hired him to get the rats and he didn't get payment for it. So he said, "All right, motherfuckers, I got y'all. I'm about to take y'all kids."
Okay.
That's what he did.
I heard that one. T.R. Arthur said, "Courtney, do you remember when Sparkle niece was the one he was kissing on?"
Yeah.
And when they went to court, the parents denied it was her. That's how he got acquitted, because he paid them. Sparkle talked about it in Surviving R. Kelly. She did, but also I heard that since he went to jail, that this girl had to file bankruptcy. I think the payments done pretty much dried up.
Like I said, this was wasn't this new people? Like this wasn't
Yeah.
about her no more. This was new people, a new case. This was
I think even boys came out and shit.
This
like,
wasn't
I
her
ain't hear
no
that,
more.
I don't know about the dudes. I
think it was a dude came out saying something about. Yeah, it was some wild shit.
Yeah,
it was some wild shit. But ultimately Netflix was his downfall.
I want you as a man, I want you to understand. If you were molested for 3 or 4 years by another man and you were of a certain age, it wasn't molestation. At one point, it became a relationship. So you can't get mad when y'all break up and be like, oh, you molested me. Like, nah, bro, we was together. What are you talking about? Like, I never liked it. It's been 4 years. Like, I didn't have you chained up in the basement. You could have like called the police at any time. Like, man, my shit's sore. This dude is ramrod me. Pause.
I mean, but that's exactly what the dude from B2K was saying, though. You know, they was in that group for some years, and they said they was molested for years. So,
what a story! That B2K shit. I don't know now since they had the drama, since they had the horrible verses, and they went to dissing each other. One of them cats is saying he about to come out with it all now. This shit right here is gonna be some foul shit, because I've seen some accusations. I mean, this got to go to the theaters. This got to go to the theaters.
They see Lifetime move something. So
this shit gonna be, some people gonna lose their record contracts after this shit. Like, what, you doing that shit to the boys?
I mean, Netflix special like that Surviving R. Kelly just be.
Yeah, they said his name Chris Stokes. They said he was like really like, man, like tearing some boy booty up, like you know. That's
wild.
That's wild, man.
That shit wild.
So the whole thing you're trying to say, you know, now after so long it's a relationship, like no, motherfuckers you be young, you know, your head, man, your mindset.
Courtney, come on now. These dudes understood. Like, listen, if it hurt, listen, here's the rule of thumb.
Was he locked up in the house?
Once again,
or was he just coming over?
Here's the rule. If it hurts, if it hurt it and you didn't like it, don't let that person do it again. Now, once again, I said of a certain age, because I know if you're a little kid, because I don't want nobody to get this twisted. If you're a little kid and a motherfucker do that to you, that's a sick son bitch and he deserves a special place in hell. But I'm talking about once you get to be about 14, 15, 16, because you know what the business is. So if it's, oh shit, this dude came in the room last night, my shit don't feel right. I quit the group. Fuck that. I'm going solo. Like, I'm gonna have to do. Listen, there's nothing worth that, right? So you can't stay for 5-6 years and then one day find, oh, he doing it to you too? Yeah, man. Now you mad because he cheated on you. Now you like, oh no, now you fucking all kinds of dudes. I thought I was the only one.
But if they ain't got nowhere to go, like we got to know the backgrounds to these stories now. We got to know the backgrounds. What if they ain't have nowhere to go after they went to these places? Now they getting raped, but now they have nowhere to go. I don't know what the fuck.
Whoa. You got a job. You got some. Look, call your mama and say, Mama, I know you want me to stay in the group, but
so you better stay your ass out there with that man.
No, I'm pretty sure if you tell your mama, he poking my tail, she gonna be like,
what?
Right.
I don't know, man. As you can see, the parents with R. Kelly or hell, Tina Turner, mama. You see, she was answering that phone quick. Tina was getting her ass. Hello, Ike. Yeah,
right. Calling his ass, man.
She
right
here.
Outside, God damn it.
So some parents is like,
in the movie.
That, I need to check.
Right.
That was in the movie. That shit didn't happen in real life. That was in the movie.
Hello, Ike.
Beat your daughter ass. What she do? Put her on the phone. Get up.
Right.
Look, I do believe it was some conditioning. I do believe her mama was like saying, you know, girl, you got a good thing. Don't fuck that up. But you know, and she was overlooking some things which she was wrong about. So if somebody mama said, no, baby, just put some ice on it. It's worth it. Nah, it's not worth it. I'm here to tell you, if you going through that right now, you listening to my show and you say, damn, they being real insensitive to me. I'm saying it's whatever you doing, say, well, I had a job. I was living with him. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'd rather be homeless than have a grown man poking me in my tail. I'll figure out homelessness. Because we can go to a shelter. It's something I can do. Ain't no coming back from that. Once it's, oh, shit, man. You get to stay in the band now. I don't want to be in this fucking group no more. Right? And people say I started doing drugs because he was abusing me. Look, I'm being insensitive to victims. I know I am, but I got to be honest and give my opinion. So y'all, if y'all call in, y'all tell me and say, Kev, if you say, Kev, you out of order, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend nobody who's been,
But Gab, it's just like when she was telling you that men be getting abused by women and shit. How we know these teenage boys ain't getting slapped? These grown men getting abused by women.
And I think I laughed at the grown men getting beat up by their woman.
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Now you are a teenage boy being abused by a man. So
I be on some bullshit. You right. And I'm still laughing at you if you my homeboy and you call me like, man, she hit me, dog. Who hit you? My girl. Where's she at? She downstairs. I'm hiding in the room. I'm gonna say, you whole ass nigga. Don't you call? I'm sorry. My bad. Don't call me. Call one of your other partners that they're sensitive to say, oh, brother, can I help? Because I'm like, dog, you a grown ass man, bro. You hiding in the room. You don't got stocked in your shit in front of the kids at the dinner table. What you do? Burp or something? Like she fine. Wow, stop talking with your mouth full. You run upstairs and call me. Yeah, I had enough.
Yeah,
no,
but they always say everybody ain't a man. It's males out here. So that some of them is, you know what I'm saying? Teenage boys, they were just males. Who knows what Chris Stokes was doing their ass and then raping. Who knows? Like I don't know. Yeah. We need stories to understand.
They said he was doing a lot of shit with their ass. Like you said, that's what they said. No pun intended.
Damn.
Them motherfuckers singing their ass off. Shoo up, do.
Damn.
I'm a gigolo. No, you ain't. You just
R. Kelly wrote that song.
I know. Fuck that, man. That's it. I ain't doing no more tasteless jokes tonight. Like somebody might get offended by this shit. They might cancel me and shit. I might lose my Twitter feed.
It's just wild how prominent this shit is. Like, and I think honestly, when I see people get so mad at that R. Kelly shit, I wonder what they not addressing in their life that they gotta project on somebody else's circumstance. Because there's so many households that sweep this shit under the rug. I know people, motherfucking uncles touched them and they mama told them to keep quiet. I know motherfuckers who mama boyfriend was fucking them. And for the sake of just having a man at home or some steady dick, the motherfucker's still free. So it happens so often. Like I just seen the clip of D. Ray Davis, the comedian, he on Vlad TV talking about he lost his virginity at 11 to two 30-year-old women. That was like basically flipping them or taking turns, So it's like, man, everybody damn near got a story to tell because either they've been through it or know somebody who been through it. So and I think that's where a lot of the anger from the R. Kelly shit come from, because motherfuckers really need to address they abuser while that motherfucker's still alive and why you can.
Well, nobody's listening because his streams have gone up just by almost double since he's been convicted. So, once again, you don't get to tell people. I love D.L. Hewley's quote. I think D.L. Hewley put it best when they say, knowing what R. Kelly did, would you still listen to his music? And he said, well, I know what America did to black people and I still listen to the national anthem. So what's the difference, right? Like, so I don't equate good music with, Prince was a weirdo, but I love his music, right? Prince did a whole bunch of like crickets, like he played Morris Day in them, and man, he had them dudes like, he was foul with a lot of shit, but he was one of the best.
Yeah, he was.
Like Van Gogh, who's a painter, who's a genius, who cuts his own ear off. Like Andy Warhol, who's really gets into a whole different kind of people who are creative, who put shit out. I say this all the time. I've never met a producer, and I dabbled in rap music a little bit. It was the 90s. Everybody rapped in the 90s. We all was groups, right? Whether you admit it or not. So all of us done been in the studio. It's a CD somewhere with our little songs on it, and we like, man, we was doing that shit. Every dude who ever met who made music was a weirdo. I never met not one. Every dude who made the beats, who could like really play instruments, he was kind of weird. He wasn't like everybody else. He was you'd be like, what the fuck wrong with this dude? He just be on some other shit. So I think creativity, it kind of, you get so much here and then you lose some over here, right? Like, it's like, okay, why is he like that? Well, a certain part of, I guess, his I don't know what you call it. I don't know about the lobes and the frontal cortexes and all the shit y'all be talking. That's his lizard mind, and that's his pit bull mind, Rottweiler mind, and all. I don't know all the animal parts of my brain and shit. So chipmunk brain when he nuts. Pause. I don't. So T.I. Shard said R. Kelly was getting molested by his sister since he was 6 years old. I've heard that as well. I've heard that he said his sister did molest him. Yeah, and hurt people. All I'm saying is, I ain't trying to get him out of jail. I'm just saying I still want to listen to his music. I'm still that music sounds good. I'm like, hey, that's some good shit. Now, will I go to Summerfest to see him if he got out? No, I never went before.
Right.
Surprise. So I'm not going out. But listen. It's Outlaw Radio on a Monday night. We try to discuss things that are important. Sometimes we get sidebar because, But what's the story behind this Jalen Walker story in Akron? Does anybody have any info? Shot 60 times. Right, a young brother who was. Can somebody give me the skinny? I know I should have taken a deep dive into it, but I've been preoccupied. Courtney, you look like you know about it.
You know, I be listening to a little bit of something, So supposedly he maybe he was going through a breakup, lost his fiance. When they say lost fiance, don't know if that means we broke up or she's dead. But anyway, he's going through some type of heartbreak. He gets in a high-speed chase or whatever. They say he lets off a shot. They say you can see it on security camera. I don't know. They did say they found the gun in the car next to a ring, but he hop out, he get to running. He's running. They claim he had a gun. The gun was in the car, as we can see. That's where they found it. If that was his gun, he planning shit. Who knows? But he was running. They assumed he had a gun. Maybe they deployed their tasers. Now we're shooting him. We're shooting. He's down. Now we're shooting in the face. 12 times in the face? That's closed casket. You can't even look at your child. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, even if he shot the gun in the air, even if it was a high-speed chase, when you look at the fact that your mass shooters have been taken without any incident, and they've murdered 10 people, 10 black people, and shot 30 people, 7 dead, 8 dead. All these little white dudes have been taken with no harm, no foul. And I always will say they took Dylan Roof to Burger King. That's some of the most crazy shit I've ever heard in my life. But so for the people who say, well, he shouldn't have ran or he shouldn't have shot in the air, right? Like, here's why black people get upset with this bullshit. Because how can you justify shooting something? You're supposed to be trained in the handling of firearms, right? So you're supposed to understand critical zones. Realistically, as a firearm person, or if you're in possession of a firearm, and somebody's threatening you, the first thing that they'll tell you is your number one job is to stop or reduce the threat. It does not take, even if I got 17-20 in my clip, it doesn't take that many bullets to stop him or her. If you hit them in a critical zone, if you've been trained, which police are supposed to be, you can stop the threat, right? So I can shoot you, boom, here, in one of your zones. Now, if you keep coming, I keep shooting. Right? If the threat is not reduced, I keep shooting until it's eliminated. That's what firearms and handgun training usually teaches you. So how can you even justify, right? How can you even justify shooting an individual 60 times? I want to hear how they're going to twist this narrative. So when we talk about why black people don't trust police, when you talk about why black people look at law enforcement and say, man, fuck them, I don't want to be one of them when I grow up. This is some of the reasons why when you look at how we are often done versus our white counterparts. If you can tell me that mass shooters go crazy and then y'all just say when y'all come, they be like, all right, I'm good. But a black dude running down the street is like, kill that motherfucker and shoot him in his back, right? When they were in Texas, I can't say it is Uvalde, whatever it was. They said the woman, the mama who ran up in there and who grabbed her kids said the police was just chilling. They had guns and everything. They was in the building. They heard the shooting, was just chilling. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So if this is a black dude, though, it's balls to the walls, helicopters, they got on armor, they busting down walls and all kinds of shit. But there's a double standard when it comes to how we are treated. Now, this is where I say, this is why you can't cry wolf on racism. This is why you can't say everything is racist, because when some real racism shit come like this, now it's time for us to be mad about this. Now it's time for us to do something about this. And there's a lot of protesting going on down there. A lot of people are active down there. I've seen some footage. I don't know what kind of, I hope that doesn't get to the point where it's the situation where they start, shooting us and killing us and all this kind of stuff. But and I think that energy is necessary. But when people look around in this country and they say, why do we move like we move in terms of law enforcement? Why is it so hard for policemen to come into the black community and say, hey, work with us to stop crime? Because we don't trust the motherfuckers. Because for so long, look, it was just the anniversary of the death of Ernest Lacy. I put that in the People's News Network. July 1981 is when it happened. And that was 40 years ago. This shit has been going on forever, right? Like, so don't look around and blame y'all just paranoid. The fuck out of here, right? So I just want to know, how can they justify shooting this individual? Courtney, what'd you say, 12 times in the face?
Yeah, but TR says that it was 90 shots at him, but 60 of them hit him. Then they still handcuffed him. After, of course, he was dead, type deal. They seem to always do that. I don't understand why. But I don't. Yeah, they're not gonna come up with nothing. They're gonna come up with something, and then it's gonna be that they're not gonna. Nobody ever gets locked up for it. It never really. They're gonna say some shit. They always do, and then that'll be that. But I think a lot of people, maybe a lot of people don't really understand the danger that black men feel. I don't even think I really understood. Like, even when it comes to getting pulled over, like, I really don't too much care about getting pulled over. When I'm driving, I be like I'm valid and shit. But I notice when it comes to black men, it's a different type of thing.
Shit, it's a roll of the dice.
Different type of, a different type of worry. And even I went to Summerfest with my ex last week, and we down there and we talking, and we're having conversation, and we just having a conversation. Shit, like, niggas talk. We talking about different things, and he looking around after a minute. He like, yeah, it kind of looked like we in turmoil, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no, we like two people motherfucking talking. But I guess to the surrounding white folk, maybe a little like it could have been a little something that could have been turning aggressive. Then I look over my shoulder. He pointed out that the security guard kind of came close, and soon wants to ask, is everything all right over here? And it's like, damn, we would have been at Juneteenth. This never would have happened, because black folks, we talk how we talk and move how we move when having a conversation. Whereas in other situations with white folks, a black man has to really be aware of how he is talking, how his body is moving, his body language, that shit is crazy. Shit I wouldn't even thought of. Like I said, I thought he was just looking like normal niggas talking, but clearly to the people around, it looked like I could have been in distress.
Exactly. Listen. Mm-hmm. When we as black men speak on the constant tension that we are under in this society, it's funny when people try to dismiss it, right? Or they try to match me with it, right? Like, so if I say, as a brother, I don't know, like I'm a straight up and down cat. I got my license, my shit, my tags all in order. It should be as simple, Mr. Barnes, can I see your driver's license, whatever, woo, woo, woo. It can easily turn into a, get out the car with it, and boom, I'm gone. The line is that thin. But when I talk about it, it's either, well, this happened to me one time, or it ain't safe for us either. Like, nobody listens at what you're saying. They just want to, no, but it happened to me too. This is not the point. The point is, it happens to us more often than not. How many times as a brother have you been in an establishment and looked around, and the same white dude who was standing by the gum when you came in is right behind you when you buy the drawers in a whole different part of the store? And I see your ass over there. What he say? I see you looking with your looking ass. I see you, bro. I ain't gonna steal no 3-pack of drawers. Are you stupid? Now, I do understand there's theft, but I'm more often than not profiled for that when it's probably a white woman or a white dude somewhere filling up their drawers, filling up a bag. Yeah, get him. While you distracted, here they go out the back door with all the shit. That's always been with black men. There's a consistent kind of pursuit of us. It's like big game. It's you hunting a big game, man. You in the jungle. You look for the lion. You trying to get the lion. You don't want the female lion. Nobody, they don't kill the female lion. They want the male for the trophy, for the thing on his neck, the mane, whatever that's called, his afro or whatever. But You're right, Courtney. I'm glad you were able to pick up on that, and that's something that my wife has noticed as well over the years. Like, wait, why did he say that? Why are they looking at you like that? What, like, because it's like because right. My computer is Putin, and they know it. They see a black man, it's like, oh shit, here they come. That's why I say I'm more often than not, I try my best to do what I'm supposed to be doing and be in the places that I should be in. And I ain't saying where I can and can't go. I'm saying for me, it's not safe for me to put myself in certain situations, right? And it's not safe for me to be around certain kinds of people. I try to navigate that and hope for the best. But at the end of the day, none of us really know. Like, I mean, if you 60, you shot at him 90 times and hit him 60. And then she said they handcuffed him when he went to the medical examiner's office. He was handcuffed. Who the fuck handcuffed him? This I'm waiting on this narrative to come out because I just want to see what this is going to be about, because I just feel like if anybody gets
that gunshot, that's why they made it so clear when I was hearing the news report that they could see it from that camera or some shit. They're going to try to use that gunshot. I believe that's why they said that you could actually see it from the street cam, that the shot was. They gonna try to use that shit. They were in fear for their life while chasing them down.
One shot, even in the air.
We want to see how does one shot justify 60?
Right, 90.
But yeah, they had just let out the body cam video. That's what it was. So I guess it's happening now. The video is out, so you can go check that out. And yeah.
And y'all see this. I'm gonna go ahead and put my foot in it. This piece of shit, this fucking absolute waste of skin, Carolyn Bryant, this old ass piece of shit from Mississippi, who lied on Emmett Till and was responsible for him being beaten and hanged. There was a warrant out for her arrest, and they found it in the basement of the courtroom. Was it 60 years ago? And she's still alive. She's still kicking it. She's still out here. And so I seen it's in the People's News Network. They led kind of a group. They was at her house. Like, no, you need to pay. You know, I don't. The fact that her uncles and whoever was involved, these individuals, that they sent one of them to jail, didn't they? I don't know if they all. One of them I thought went to jail, or I might have it mixed up with the bombing, because I know one of them went to jail when it was very old. Once again, here's how the history of how we've been treated in this country. So when we're skeptical about your political parties, or when we skeptical about groups, or when we say, I don't necessarily trust you or you, how can't you fucking understand that? How can anybody say, nah, black people did it? No, we was voting in for them. It was black people then saying, well, we just gonna vote for Democrats and hope for the best. Right? Like, come on, man. It's bullshit, man. We should, once again, all of this stuff, we should be striving. We should be absolutely positively striving to do us. All this tells us is that we need to do us, because there ain't no fucking protection in this country for us.
Yeah.
Just still a long way away. Go ahead, Courtney. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Organize it, Kev.
I'm gonna say no. I'm just saying.
I mean, it just be sound like you got the plan, Kev. I'm just like, come on now, put that shit. Come on now.
It's a lot of good brothers out there in the community doing work and leading groups and all that. I for them, shout out to them. Man, y'all do what y'all do. It's just not something that's in my wheelhouse. Like I said, I gave it a whirl, as my mama said. Give it a whirl. I gave it a whirl. It didn't really. I don't do clown shit well. I would get in so much trouble. That's why I could never run for office, because I been fucked around and had the worst press conference ever and shit. They'd be like, "Oh, violence today." And Alderman Burns jumped off the stand. You say, motherfucker? I don't do clown shit well, man. I really don't. It's better for me. Kamar has taught me how to channel my energy and not be so frustrated and just kind of relax. Kevin ain't, goddamn, calm down. Shit, it just ain't that serious. So I'm settling in that now. Fuck that shit. Come on, be like, kid, man, you ain't even that serious, bro. Chill out, man. I know you got some shit. I know you got some weed over there. Hit some of that weed and shit. Allegedly, I got some weed. Tiasha Arthur said Ben Crump showed the video. He wasn't doing anything but running. Ben Crump, first on the scene. Yes, sir. I'm glad. Shout out to Ben Crump, man. See, that's why I'm not needed, Courtney, because you got Ben Crumps and you got, especially
send
Milwaukee.
Ben Crump your plan, man. Let send everybody your plan.
I'm good.
They need the plan. Send them the plan so they can get it pushing.
Joshua Anderson said, "Get that bitch the chair, stinking hoe." Yes, absolutely.
I feel like lock her up.
I know. No, give her the death penalty. I don't care how old she is. I don't care if she. Listen, man. Take her asthma pump. Do something. I like, put her in the car and let a dog chase her around. Like, she deserves the most cruel fucking punishment. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This is one of the most atrocious acts that we have seen. You take a 14-year-old kid, beat him, shoot him, and throw him in a river with a cotton gin around his neck for saying he whistled at a white woman. And truth be told, I feel like I so remember her admitting years later he didn't actually whistle at her. The fact of the matter was he was a youngster from Chicago. He's from up north. And they looked at him, they seen his demeanor, they seen his swag, they knew he wasn't one of the good old boys. So they thought, we got to put that nigger in his place. That's how they've always dealt with us, man. So, once again, I fuck her. I'm sorry. If you care, that's a little vulgar, ain't it? Man, fuck her. And like Tupac said, if you down with her, fuck you too.
When you said that, Kevin, I want to throw them gang signs again and make my fingers get the.
Yeah, right. Big Milwaukee.
Fuck her, man. But yeah, she's definitely get locked up. I don't know why we do know why, but they definitely always saving some white folks and shit. She should be, yes.
They should have been got her, especially when the husband and brother-in-law did an interview saying they did it when they were with it. Yes, they did an interview in a magazine when this shit happened, man. Listen, man, come on, man. I go back to this all the time. We as a people have the right to say, feel, and do whatever the fuck we want to do. We have been handled by this country so motherfucking rough, and there's been so many situations where there was just a total lack of justice. You look at these dudes in a magazine admitting that they did it, and they were acquitted, and it was cool. The feds didn't step in. Nobody stepped in and said, no, man, come on, man, stop. Look, I wouldn't give a shit if they tied it to the freeway and just let everybody run over her. I wouldn't shed a tear for her. As in people say, I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. Tiasha Arthur said they knew she was lying. The chick wasn't even cute. I mean, come on, man. And then once again, you wonder why when we see all the white women at Bill Cosby, even though I'm no Bill Cosby fan, you wonder when we look at them and they all look like East German pole vaulters, and we'd be like, ew. And then that's why we be like, oh, man, that shit ain't true. Even though Bill probably was pill dropping. But when we see it, we say, nah, you know how white ladies be lying. White women have always lied on black men. Ain't this what started the whole thing in Black Wall Street? That a white woman, something happened to a white woman, and that's what happened in Roseville. So it's all Rosewood. I'm sorry, Rosewood. You say, hey, you got it wrong. Rosewood. It's always, a black man. Listen, I met a white dude in North Dakota in 1994 when I went to the North Dakota State College of Science, who was overhousing. And I was over there. We had a disagreement. He told me everything I was saying was bullshit, so I gave it to him Northside style. Who the fuck you talking to? And I gave him some classic shit, some real life. And this was 90s capital too, so it was real rough, rugged, and raw, right? So I let him have it. And my coaches was just, oh my God, you're gonna get kicked out of the dorm. I swear to y'all, when I went back to see him, he apologized and told me he's always had a problem with black men because a black man raped his grandmother in Tampa Bay, Florida in the 30s. He told me this. And I looked at him and I said, the craziest part about it is it probably wasn't a brother who even raped your grandmother. It's probably your granddaddy.
Or the motherfucker she was cheating with, like on Rosewood.
Right.
It's always been like, so that's another reason why we side out when we see brothers who are so happy to have a white woman. Like, boy, that make you feel good, don't it? They got me a white, got me one, and they ain't gonna kill me or nothing for it. And they be so happy. That's why brothers be like, man, come on, man. I believe it was Iceberg Slim who called it the Alabaster Super Cunt. Y'all go back and read the book, man. Go back. I love Iceberg Slim is my favorite author, man. But yeah, man. Now, speaking of, so we talking about crime and punishment. I see Larry Hoover denounced growth and development. He said he don't want nothing to do with it. He said he ain't
Damn.
got nothing to do with it. He doesn't support it. Larry Hoover is trying to come home, right? 70 something
We
years
ain't growing
old.
and developing no more. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't
Right.
helping nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And so I tell you all the time, I live in the podverse. So I'm always up on what's going on YouTube and like watching all, because I watch almost every podcast and all this kind of stuff. So and there's this thing back and forth between Jay Prince, who's the impresario of Rap-A-Lot music, and who people look at as kind of like this, they say mob ties. Of course, I don't think Jay Prince even intends it as that. If he has a strong network of people who look out for each other, it's just kind of like a title. But him and Whack 100, who some other shit going on with Whack right now, they were arguing about the rights to the footage from the documentary and saying, well, if he was on the Ghetto Boy album, that justifies the government keeping him more. He should disassociate himself from any crime and all. He shouldn't have to do all of that. He's 70-some years old. If he came out and said, I'm still GD to my heart, right? You still should let him out. Yeah. That man cannot go to Chicago and walk on the block and do nothing wrong. The only thing he can do in Chicago is make it better. The only thing he will do is when he gets out for people to come and see him and listen at his story and improve things. As a matter of fact, the way you systematically have murdered black leaders over the years and incarcerated others, when we start talking about political prisoners and whatnot, we know you systematically removed any sort of leadership from our communities. So perhaps if you'd have put Larry Hoover back in the community years ago, right? Perhaps you didn't murder Fred Hampton years ago. If you don't assassinate young black men, if you don't murder Eric Bernard Adway here in Milwaukee, who knows what would have happened on the North Side under his leadership? He was obviously a person who people followed, who they respected. But they understand that. So they remove those brothers. Right. We know that they do that. We've seen them do it. But I don't think Larry Hoover should have to do this to get out. And at this point, how much more are you gonna take from him? Right? Like, he's been in jail since what, 1971? And you got mob bosses, and I've been watching this bullshit with Gravano, Sammy the Bull, and all these dudes. Sammy Gravano killed 30-some people. And because he told on some other people, he been out for years. And Larry Hoover still sitting. Y'all see where I'm going with this shit?
Ain't they finna let watch Big Meech out? Ain't he supposed to be getting out?
I don't know. I don't know where that's at. I really don't. I've heard that he's been released to like, minimum or something. I don't know. I don't keep up with a lot of the, the street, the gang shit. Like cause I'm just like, I'm old, right? Like I feel like a lot of times in my age group, at one point we had a really golden classic thug life era. Don't get me wrong. 17 to about 30, shit was gangster as a motherfucker. We was in the mix. We was in the streets. Bro, I'm 46. I'm not no thug no more. Like
was you out there when they was chasing Tupac?
I was a teenager in Milwaukee. I wasn't there. No, I was not there, but I remember the time when the same thing happened to DJ Quick when he came here. Cats got at him. But during that time, coming through Milwaukee, and a lot of individuals would come through here not understanding where they were. I said, I'm going to do a show in Milwaukee. What the fuck is black people? I'm going here. Then you come up here and some, and Milwaukee niggas be like, we beating your ass. Get you at the after party, motherfucker. So, a lot of people done got their shit knotted up in Milwaukee coming through here. Like, man, I know it, but some of you ask them now, is it black people in Milwaukee? They be like, hell yeah, it's a bunch of them motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
Your ass toe off in this city. Stop playing with us, man. So, I mean, listen to Scarface tell that story. Scarface was very aware of Milwaukee in Chicago, Listen to he said, man, them motherfucking Milwaukee niggas didn't play that shit.
So they came up to the hotel and tore that motherfucker
the hotel up. Tupac never could come back, right? And I'm telling you, there was some DJs on the radio at the time. I can't remember their name. Darren D. And rest in peace, because I think he's gone. But it might be some other dudes. And I played it one time on the show. When Tupac died, the night that he died, they came on and was just hating, just like, yeah, he the reason for violence in hip hop, and Cass was on their ass. Like it got hot around here for these motherfuckers. Kamar, do you remember that? I forget what their names was. They was on like V100 or something. They was like, just talking bad on the man, and people got to call into the radio station like, hey man, I already know where y'all at. I see your motherfucker. I know
Damn.
there Saturday night, bro. Yeah, man. Is Milwaukee was a different kind of place back then. It was very interesting, very great place to grow up at. Trust me. Um, let's see what we got. I agree with Larry Hoover. He's trying to come home. Plus, they changed up how he originally wanted his setup. Chicago, I was just watching an interview with Corporate, a youngster Corporate, who does a lot of videos. He's from Chicago, and he was saying, like, Chicago is a city where it ain't no leadership. It don't flow like that no more. Like, and I know like cats whose growth and development always talk about it used to be structure, it used to be chiefs, and it used to be sergeants and captains and corporals. I don't know nothing about growth and development.
Right.
But they always talked about the structure of it. But what I hear them say now is that structure's gone. Like it ain't, it's every man for himself. So I don't know if you're from Chicago or if you got knowledge on that, hit us up. Let me know what y'all think about Brother Hoover saying he ain't got nothing to do with growth and development no more.
Everybody a G now. Like, shit, when I was in high school, we all was G's. We all knew the handshake. Even now, these little teenagers, I pick my son up, I see these niggas doing handshakes, and it's like, everybody a goddamn GD right now.
Right.
Nah,
it just is just a thing. Ain't nobody.
I ain't never been I never, because when I was growing up, if you claimed some shit and couldn't spit your lit, you was getting fucked up. So okay. I never was gonna fake nothing. I was anybody ever came to me trying to do the handshake, I respect them. I just threw the finger out. That you neutral. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't throw the fork up. I just threw the finger out. You neutral. Much respect, fam. Yeah, I ain't about to fake. I'm me. I never.
I'm from 17th and Capitol and Atkinson. And I can tell you this, in my neighborhood, 19th, 18th, and Atkinson, and I can tell you like this, in my neighborhood, a lot of people got beat up for doing that handshake, and they wasn't supposed to be doing it.
Right. See, you don't do that shit.
Because you're not even that, bro. And you trying to fit in, but you don't realize this is not a popular area for that.
Exactly. And you like, I know a couple motherfuckers that lost their life just always trying to fit in somewhere. Like, and I was respected because I'm not about to be anything or try to be anything I'm not. So I just do the little finger, I ain't throw the fork up, I ain't throw the VL up, none of that shit, because I respected all of them, and I got respected for it. But yeah, when I was growing up, if you claimed some shit and you couldn't spit your lit, you was getting fucked up. So I
like what Courtney said though, because that is exactly how I remember when I was growing up. Everybody knew the handshake, and cats would be on the G and on the and folk. And then you around some real cats from my neighborhood, and they'd be like, "Oh, you G, you folks in them." No, I just know why you doing the handshake. Whoa! What you doing? What you doing the handshake for? You know where you at? Like, I'm trying to tell you. Put it like this: I'm working on the EBA documentary.
I told my son.
That tells you how folk dudes got treated in the neighborhood I'm from.
I look at your background colors, and I know. And I'm like,
which is not even my neighborhood colors. They just go with the logo. So if I had some different colors that we would, but yeah.
Okay. I'm like, okay, I know what side of the crack he was on,
It ain't no. I don't know if there's people out here still.
But I was cool with everybody.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you from my neighborhood, in our neighborhood there was a bunch of people who represented different things, and it was our neighborhood and it was love, but at the same time, don't disrespect like that. Or if you ain't supposed to be doing that handshake, don't do the shit. If you ain't supposed to be hollering out on G, don't say that shit. That's not
right.
Because even though we may be like, we ain't gonna trip on that, you could be in another place and cats be like, hey.
Nah, I knew cats who it was their religion type, like real shit. They looked at it like a religion, like they knew I don't wear shit on this side. Like, I don't know that shit.
Right.
Like, no, I don't wear my rag on this side, fam. I wear it on this side. And it's gonna be these colors. And like I never knew there were different colors within the subcategories and shit.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was either blue and black or black, red and black.
Well, see, and there lies the difference between then and now. Whereas back then, if you knew, you knew. And other people who was in that lifestyle recognized you when, like, they knew what the signs was.
Right.
Everybody wasn't on that. A lot of brothers used to be like, I am neutral.
Right.
Nobody.
I ain't got time for that shit.
Right.
I'm in school. I'm just trying.
Right.
You know shit. Like shit. I mean, but I fucked with everybody, and like you said, we had them folk and shit. It was LGs, BOS, all that shit.
I grew up with dudes who was on every side. Once again, it was always mutual respect, and it was always like, hey, and then you knew when this over here, this is where I'm cool over here, and over here I'm not. So, and like I said, we all went to Phillips School, so it was, like I'm cool with all of the 4100 dudes, but I didn't grow up on 4100.
Right.
Cam from he from 17 to Capitol. He ain't but I went to Phillip with him. So
right.
Anyway, I don't want. TR said I got Vice Lord colors. It just matched the logo. Like when me and my cousin designed the logo, he made it red, black, and white, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool color.
It is dope. It's very dope.
I know gang shit because I don't even. It's a whole different show. But I like to see Larry Hoover get released because I think a lot of young kids need to hear his story, not watch it on BET. I think they need to sit in front of him and have him talk about, bro, I just did 60-some years in the penitentiary.
My question,
go to that seminar. Kanye gonna motherfucking host it and shit. It's gonna be tickets. Ooh,
but like
that shit gonna be live. It's gonna live stream on Amazon and shit. Oh, that shit gonna be popping.
But do you think he with the younger cats who like we said, where there's no structure, they might not even know they bylaws, none of that shit. Like, do you think will he have pull like that to where, because there's older cats still out here who know the structure and the lit and the bylaws.
I don't think he will have pull like that. I think he will have influence.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think he will have influence over.
I think them little niggas will beat him up.
Damn,
there might be some influence, but I feel like
they ain't gonna touch. I mean, they're not gonna be allowed to touch. I mean, there's still
they're not
people.
Gonna be allowed.
But I feel like he will be
niggas
protected.
Like I don't think they have enough respect to even realize who he was or what he was like. These little niggas don't care.
Well, I think if people understand gangs, you understand that most of the power any street gang has comes from the power that they have in the penitentiary. So there is some dudes over there right now that ain't 70, that ain't 60, that's still in our age range, that's still gladiators, and they gonna make sure.
Yeah, they gonna
dudes over there with power that but what they do is they deal with the youngsters they can, and the rest it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they out there, these little dudes. If you with us over here, where we do it at, and you don't respect the structure, then we'll take care of it. But we ain't out trying to, it is what it is. And I don't know.
Right. They ain't doing missionary work going block to block. Like
and I just feel like I don't know. A lot of these ones, the ones that's not with it, I don't know. These teenagers, I feel like even different than motherfuckers from me, from my era. And these niggas is wild. Like these motherfuckers, they don't get no fuck. I don't know. They don't get no fuck about shit. They don't respect shit.
It's man, but then when you look at it, like I just be looking at some of the people in my age group, and it's crazy now because my age group is now grandparents and shit. So I look at it where, like, okay, so there's an old coworker of mine, and she was saying, and she younger than me, but she was saying how she was in foster care with her mama because her mama had her at 15. So she had foster grandparents and shit going house to house. So it's like, man, we really dealing with like generations of dysfunction. Like, I think about how blessed I am to not only have both my parents in my life, but to have parents that I actually seen do shit with their life. So I want to make them proud and aspire to, but some people ain't got that. Like, I grew up with niggas who owed the plug because they mama smoked they shit. You know what I'm saying? So then you telling him respect the women and it's like, all right, man, my mama stole from me. My mama lied to me. My mama put my life in danger. How the fuck am I going to respect any? So it's real hard for some of these kids because some of these kids is really out here raising themselves while they mama might be going to work and then at fucking D's Elegance every night or some shit.
Right, you never know.
Never know.
Twerk, right?
I mean, not to anybody who goes to D's, you know what I'm saying? But
I don't listen. The one thing I don't know anything about any bylaws. I never knew what nobody was talking about when they said spit your lit. I don't know nothing about that. And I don't know the structure of Chicago. All I know is Larry Hoover to me is a very important individual to be able to talk, that we should allow to talk to our young people. That's all I know. What you got, Kamar? Oh, I look like you was trying to show me.
I thought he had a free Hoover sign. I know.
Right, I was gonna say,
I was talking to my daughter, man. My bad.
you
Get that one on mute though.
Free Hoover.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, free Hoover.
I mean, they should. They
Free
should,
Larry Hoover.
man. Like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he down to renouncing the G's. Like, damn, he gotta do that just so he can get out and not have to worry about dying in jail. Like, it's
well, people say I saw somebody commented on I put up an article about Larry Hoover denouncing this in the People's News Network, and one of the people in there commented he was responsible for so much chaos and so much carnage in the black community. He should rot in jail. And I was like, wow. And that was there's a black person who said that. Go and look at it. It's in the People's News
responsible for it.
Well, they say he started. He's part of the reason GD growth and development, right? I want to say this right because I don't want nobody to say, man, cuz you can't say. Listen, that's one of the largest. I think that is the largest gang in this country, and I think they're the most widespread gang in this country. And believe me, while they may not have the structure that they used to have, and be able to really make sure shit got done, they still got some. It's still something out there. Or else it wouldn't last, right? So people saying, well, he's responsible because he's one of the founders of it. And I don't know what his role in the founding. I've heard so many stories. I got a lot of brothers. I got a lot of family in Chicago. They've told me all these stories about, who he started it with and how it started. And so, but once again, I say, but this is something that was done 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
Most of the groups started with a good premise, but then the FBI infiltrated it and did bullshit to make it look like they was on bullshit. So, yeah, man, I ain't never heard that one. But I mean, but they got the right to feel how they feel, though.
Yeah, and there's a sentiment now because with the whole gang member thing, and I once again I live in the Podverse, so I listen to Charleston White, and he talks about how he hates gang members, and he feels like all of us as people, gang members are the biggest, the most destructive, biggest part of dysfunction in our. Oh, you gotta listen to Charleston White. He goes in on all of gangs like Crips, Bloods, Vice Lords, GDs.
Is he a black dude, a white dude?
Yes, black dude from Texas.
Oh, okay.
And so he's always like renouncing gangs when he talks about them being negative. But it's like I do understand that the problems they've created, but I think we probably need to look at the reason why they exist. And like you said, what role was played by the provocateur? Right, like in order to make this look, because even with what we just seen recently with the George Floyd thing, where there was the black people, they want to say black people rioting, but what they found was an undercover St. Paul police officer who ass up trying to start some shit.
That's so what they do.
Throughout history and look at
what was that one cat? Was it like Ferguson or some shit like that? It was a boy that got killed, and then they was riding and shit, but then they seen had pictures that it was actually cops burning shit on fire, and then a lot of the people who was a part of that movement, they mysteriously was ended up dying.
Ferguson, a lot of the leaders of the protests have been murdered. A lot of them, I think almost all of them, the ones who were out in the streets,
pretty much,
they've been murdered
under mysterious circumstances and shit.
That's why I tell black people all the time, you got the right to be skeptical. Don't ever let somebody take your skepticism away from you as a black person. When you see something, a new policy or something, you should always second guess it. Case in point, I seen brother DC Crowley. Shout out to DC Crowley, who's our first black elected county executive.
Shout out to Dirty.
Been on the show a bunch of times. Good dude, actually. Shout out to E. Dot, his wife. But he now is the spearhead of taking a majority of the COVID money, I believe to the tune of $19 million, to establish affordable housing in the surrounding suburbs. Right? So they're saying, Now,
Kicking
so,
us out the city.
well, okay, so here we
It's
go.
happening.
All
My
right.
granddaddy been saying it since the 60s. They gonna move niggas on the outskirts and shut the buses off. That's what he said, and he was a bus driver.
And he's saying, well, we deserve the right to live in these suburbs too. And I'm like, brother DC, you can't be that disillusioned, my brother. Listen, facing gentrification in our neighborhoods the way we are, and then backing that up by saying, well, look, we're going to make living in Brookfield more affordable. We're going to make living in, I bet you they don't do it in Whitefish Bay, but the suburban areas, right?
They ain't gonna do it in Whitefish Bay because
right.
the goal is for them to get closer to the lake.
Right. Well, I'm saying that because Whitefish Bay is just uber rich white, beyond uber rich white ability. You ain't fucking with them, right? Like you're not having that shit. But some of these other places, because you have to understand, white millennials don't want to live in the suburbs. They don't want to live on the house. They want to live urban. They want this. So we got a crisis in Milwaukee with affordable housing. Most of the people here are income deprived, which means I think 80% of their income goes to where they stay, this rent, room and board. Why the fuck do you think this is a good idea? And then you have to look at the fact that how do they treat us in the suburbs? Do I need to talk about Jacob Blake? Do I need to talk about all the Kenosha guard that came in and gave a 17-year-old an automatic rifle, because a semi-automatic rifle, because niggers are rioting because they shot a nigger who was a rapist who was going for a knife. So come on, man. And I know Rick Muhammad in the chat room like said that's some bullshit. And by the way, Rick Muhammad did send me the article that I asked him for last week, but it did not say that was in the court papers. It just reported on the fact that one of the people he shot had been convicted of child molestation. We knew that already. So his theory of Kyle Rittenhouse really being a hero and a hitman to get rid of pedophiles was. Shout out to you, Rick Muhammad. But back to DC's ass. Look, this is bullshit, man. This is dumb. Like, and $19 million. We have an affordable housing issue here in the city. Why are you saying, well, let's just move to the suburbs then? Everybody take off from the neighborhood and move out to Brookfield, because we live in Brookfield now. It's lost its luster once your ass move out there. And it's going to be easy for them to pinpoint you now and regulate you with whatever law enforcement agency.
They're going to treat it like Brown Deer.
Right. Well, shout out to Brown Deer. Black people have been able to get out there for a long time, but I remember when Brown Deer cops used to be pretty crazy with it on black people. Brookfield and Franklin, just TR.
I mean, as far as how Brown Deer used to have everything, and now that shit is. Right.
Yeah, because it's in Germantown and Menominee Falls now. It moved out a little bit. And if you know the story behind that with the white boy who did the fake murder and all that, who was killed with Dahmer, that's a whole story too. Racism is racism does. I made that shit up on the fly. So if it makes no sense, don't get mad at me. Brookfield and Franklin, Wisconsin shut that shit down years ago when they wanted to build some projects out there. Yeah, there's been a lot of that. But you take a place like West Allis, right? And shout out to Bear Meat, my brother, when Bear Meat was on the show. See, y'all missed some classic Outlaw radios. When Kamar tell you, Kamar, you been on the show when Bear Meat was on here before, right?
Yeah.
My brother's an absolute nutty buddy, right? Like he said one time about West Allis, he said, it's funny to me that they think that they're better than us when all that shit was really built around Alice Chalmers, which went out of business in the 80s, which is a very large factory. He said they should just call that shit west of Alice Chalmers instead of West Allis. He said, now they poor. Now West Allis got major issues now because Alice Chalmers is gone. Like, so what's out there? Nothing. So you know what? Y'all West Allis people, come on. State Fair Park is out there, right? or the racetrack and shit like that. But other than that, come on. Like, and so, yeah, like get some affordable housing. Now go live in West Allis so they can come back and get the near north side and get all of the properties. The property, the value, the land that we live on right now is the prime real estate. By the freeway, by the lake, by the stadium, by downtown. That's where they want to be. So, DC, brother, I don't see the value in this. If y'all and I don't think our solution as Black Milwaukeeans right now is to move to the suburbs. I am very sorry. You got to clean this shit up. You got to clean up the north side. I'm not accepting, and I know In their mind, they think, well, the only way we can fix it is to gentrify. Of course, that's their plan. I don't understand why brother as smart as DC can't see through this, though. I'm like, why are you big up in this? This ain't good for us.
I think maybe you see it. I think maybe he see it. That's just his way
doing
to
his
buck
job
ass around and shit.
Type shit. And I feel like that shit far as a motherfucker. Niggas don't even want to come out the Mill Road. Niggas ain't going to the suburbs, Brookfield. Niggas like, damn, that shit far as hell. Niggas don't like driving too far.
Man, look, I moved off 17th and Capitol to off 94th and Capitol. I ain't seen some brothers since I moved. They be like, Kev, you moved way out Capitol, man.
Right.
That's not even 10 minutes.
So to take niggas to Brookfield? Oh, shit.
Man, I'm 5 minutes away from Menominee Falls, and all the niggas is over here now. Beretta done bought up every house around me.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, they over here 5 minutes away from Menominee Falls.
I love the west side. I love the west side of Milwaukee. I do. I'm not going back the other way. We gonna head further north. But but you know, so I'm saying it's not to me. That's in the People's News Network too. If y'all want to see that the majority of this money, see they spending this money up already on this ARPA, this American Recovery Act money that's coming. It was, what was it, $75 million? It was a lot of money. MPS got a slice. They divvying them shits up now, but they making decisions that people should be vocal about how they're utilizing it, because I don't understand how can you even justify because basically what you're saying to me is, not only am I supporting gentrification, I'm asking you as well to support it, right? You a black man. How aren't you vocal enough to say, hey man, no, that's not good for us. We need to take that $19 million and do something in the city with it. What y'all talking about? We got people who live in the projects right now that are getting taxed for rent. That they get evicted from the projects because they can't pay their rent. So you think it ain't room for affordable housing in Milwaukee?
Shit, bring my mortgage down. Like, what are you gonna do about that shit? Man. Property taxes is going up.
Come on, DC. And you know what? I know you got to do what you got to do, man, because you're in a power position. But man, I just feel like this is some shit them handlers put together, man. Don't be a puppet, man. Don't do that, man. Yeah. You know, and
I know still in debt. I told you that when I interviewed him last year. He said he in so much motherfucking debt. Hell yeah, he's agreeing to shit. He's
so he gonna do Chris a little soft shoe
Chris
dance.
Abley funded that shit. He told me he's in debt. So he is. That's what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I think he might have gave you the juke move. I think he done made. I think he out of debt now because he doing all the right dance. Like that motherfucker's like, bro. Look, people who haven't kept up with our show are not aware. Mandela Barnes' first interviews that he gave was on Outlaw Radio. DC Crowley first interviews that he gave was on Outlaw Radio, but actually it was 3041 Live, and we were doing it live from 3041 North down with Mr. Terry. Shout out to him. So I've had conversations with all these dudes, and like DC has been here. He's been in the studio with us here. Me, Kamar, and Brother Jay talk to teach, listen, and learn. Right? Like he was. I get those old shows are on YouTube. They all over the place, man. So I like I said, I always thought this was a good, and I still think he's a good brother, but I'm just like, DC, I don't understand this. I would like for him to explain why this is beneficial to create affordable housing in the suburbs. Now, if you're doing it for the poor people in the suburbs, that's fine, but don't market this to black people. Bring the affordable housing here to them. Let's make our neighborhoods better. It seemed like you saying, y'all just leave and come out here and live in these townhomes, fake ass townhomes. Before you know it, that shit gonna be the new projects. They gonna have our black asses all out there and have us just subjugated. So, yeah, man, I'm sorry. It's just bullshit to me, man. And I don't like calling no brother out like that because, but I'm saying this one is, like I said, Kamar and myself have intercepted several bills over the years, y'all. Y'all would be surprised. We've intercepted some paperwork that was floating through the legislation and shine some light on it, and people said, "Wait a goddamn minute," and they had to say, "The jig is up. Throw that shit away."
They got us.
Yeah. Hey, he was on the show one night when we brought one of them, pulled one of them out.
Yes, he was. He was a guest when we had to talk about them passing the legislation or attempting to pass it that would waive parents' rights to vaccinating their children.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we had to I had it in paper, like, bro, why your name on this? It's we had my sister Lena on here. I ain't lying. Look, we had my sister Lena on here.
Right.
We had the bill 6777, where Abley was giving himself, he was gonna take over the county. He was gonna be appointed over everything. We caught that shit like, hey, what the fuck is this?
So it sounds like it's a track record of selling, you know, shit, having people you know, for the sake of position. I don't want to say selling us out, but you know, but shit, I guess that's what it is.
For the sake of position, that was perfect, real.
Once again, this is a clear explanation of when we start talking about these goddamn political parties. And you step and fetch it, Sambos, want to tell me why I need to be a card-carrying member of either one of them. When I say I reserve the right to make my mind up when I know all the facts, but I'm wrong for that, right? Like, so, and I ain't talking about Sister Beverly, because I respect Miss Beverly, and she has a right to her opinion. And she's a passionate Democrat. Shout out to her. I'm just saying, for us, for the Outlaws and the cats who rock with us, and people of like mind, such as myself, we gonna make our mind up based on what's the information that's there. It ain't about no symbol. And you're right, I don't trust them, right? And I don't, and I never will, right? So it is what it is. But you know, I just, man, that shit with this $15 million. $15 million they want to get to the suburbs to create affordable housing.
Said 19.
I thought it was 19. I just looked at my notes.
Confusing me, Kev. Get the 15 or 19.
It sounds like they vision for Milwaukee is like eventually like get all the black folks on the outskirts, and then downtown Milwaukee could be like the new Manhattan or downtown Chicago or some shit.
Shit.
Right? Like I said, it's that Peruvian restaurant on 37th and Valete. Like, what you mean? On 37th and Valete. It's Peruvian. Peruvian. In the middle of the motherfucking hood. Peruvian. It's nice too, and it's tasty. Then you got Pete's Pops right next door, a little long popsicle shop. Like, nigga, they slowly working their way in.
Shit, hold on to y'all property in the hood. If y'all got something down there, sit on it. Then wait till shit.
I keep telling my mom value about to go up. Center. Don't you sell that shit? What's wrong with you?
Man,
you sell these houses, nigga. No,
call me.
It's right, like.
Call me, shit. I got a few bands I can put with somebody else. We do something, shit.
Man,
yeah, they still talk about bringing that train or that trolley and shit. Are they?
Yeah, they talking about what they gonna do with that money. Go to the amphitheater.
Yeah, tell them to call me if they trying to come up off that house.
Once again, y'all, they done played this game on our backs for too long. Black people, come on, man. We better than this. Like, we are so much smarter than this. We're so much more cerebral than
but they get us. We are, but we're highly emotional. And like I said, they play to our fear and outrage. Like, the easiest way to manipulate somebody is to get them in their chest, because now you got them out of their head. So they stay getting us in our chest about shit, because then they can finagle us because we no longer thinking.
Let me see. Tiasha said, do you think he doesn't want to do the inner city because some people messed up the meadows? I remember when blacks was moving out there and the clear people was moving up and down MLK Drive, like Brewers Hill was created across the street from Wes's. Absolutely. The meadows.
I think they call themselves gentrifying us then. They just didn't move us far enough.
Right.
Well, it got so wild out there in the meadows, though. They had to hurry up and bring their ass back to the city. Like, they fucking up the whole brown deer. I was just like, God damn, them motherfuckers out there wilding. And that whole
even
area
out here in the Hunters, that was considered. That was the thing too. All of that shit was kind of far, but that shit was the hood.
Shit, I bought my crib 10 years ago. When I first bought my crib, every neighbor was white or Hmong. Like, now, like I said, Barada done bought up all the shit, and now motherfuckers doing donuts around the block or shooting around the corner. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So your solution to that is to move them out further, as opposed to doing something that would help prevent these kinds of things from being done, like really actually working with the community and the people, so we don't have this recklessness. And really, a lot of this shit is just manufactured by poverty. If you keep and I don't want to use it as an excuse, but it's a factor. There's a lot of times extreme poverty will make you say, you know what, fuck it. I'm about to just go do a donut in IKEA. Like, I mean, it's not like your brain is functioning in a logical manner when you just extremely poor. When you like actually worried about, I don't actually know how I'm gonna eat tomorrow or how I'm gonna feed. I don't know if we're gonna have heat. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. And I'm not saying a lot of those wounds aren't self-inflicted. It is what it is. The fact is we have a large population that suffers from those problems. I agree with Tiarsha though. I like, she said when they came and did Brewer Hill and all these kinds of neighborhoods. But see, it's one thing to do that after you have removed the jobs, because this community, our community on the north side, was flourishing when the jobs were there.
Man,
they were in our community. When you took them and moved them and brought and drugs mysteriously worked their way in, this is when we get to this super dysfunctional community. So you can't tell me, well, instead of really bringing jobs back to the city, which is what any politician who was elected by the people in Milwaukee should do. No, I'm going to do, because DC is over the county. It's the watering down of our government. Yeah, I won't just represent Milwaukee, Kev. I know. Like they say, that's too bad, right? It's too bad that you don't just represent Milwaukee. So you basically in a position where you got to do for other people who in the case of these suburban places, don't give a fuck about us and don't like us and don't want us in their suburbs. And your solution is, hey, let's move to their suburbs.
Man, I know people that live in Wauwatosa getting nasty notes left on that shit.
Yeah, that just happened. Yeah, man.
It happened in the news?
Yeah, it was a couple months back where there was a family in Wauwatosa. They had just bought this house and people was putting letters on they.
Damn. Come on, I wonder if these are people I know personally. I wonder if they reported that shit. Or they just do it to a lot of black people out there.
It's still Wisconsin. It's 86% white. They got us boxed in the southeast corner of the state. It ain't no mystery, right? That's why I keep saying, black people, we better than this. When we hear stuff like this, we should have voices in this city that immediately say, nah, DC, nah, that one ain't cool, bro. No.
Kev,
yes.
Write the plan out. I'm gonna deliver the plan, Kev. I gotta write it out. I'm gonna do the press conferences and shit. Right, you gotta write my script and shit too. I gotta have the words right now. Yeah. The hell yeah. You ain't gonna do it.
You know what? I don't see
Somebody gotta do it. But then if I get popped, you make sure y'all bring me up every day for trying to bring.
And you know why? Because he got way more. He's connected to way more money and influence than me. And obviously he's serving some individual. And I did say serving. Yeah. He's serving big money. He's serving lobbyists and special interest groups. That's big money. Big money. When you talking about one individual gave somebody, when the last time you know somebody, you say, dog, let me get $700,000. I want to run for county executive. Oh, it's cool, cuz here you go, take my card. $700,000.
And you think he not in debt for that no more? You think he done paid that back already?
It might be in his treasure chest for when he runs for re-election, whatever he didn't use. Right, I don't know how his money flows, but I know
these dumbass bills that he's trying to do. Like, let's go put the niggas out in the suburbs. They be like, hey, remember, look, so we can knock 150 off that debt if this bill coming up. You know what I'm saying? Or is this money coming up?
Doing his job.
Navigate it like this.
He's doing his job. I'm just saying, to me, this don't look like something that's positive for people of color in Milwaukee. It looks like this is something to even accelerate the pace of gentrification even more, to say, hey, come out here and stay for $50.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So, shout out to him, man. If he hear it, if he don't, I mean, I know I'm small change, but somebody need to tell a friend to pass this along to him and say, hey, dog, that ain't cool. And then just keep it moving. They say, what who's that? Who's that nigga? Look, man, they got this Vision Zero network coming with the speed and the reckless driving. The mayor said he wants to get to zero fatal traffic fatalities. There's a whole plan to it. It involves changing infrastructure, changing the way they've done the streets and speed limits and adjusting all this. So there's a plan in place for that. We always ask when the plans are there, can we have transparency so we can talk about them? We're running out to talk about it tonight, but we'll talk about it in detail on Wednesday. And the Common Council did pass the what was the act that they passed where they gave out Ring doorbells.
I want to throw my fingers in this side.
It's shit.
How we get them? How we get them, Kev?
The stories in the People's News Network. I don't want one. I got ring already.
No,
I got a ring. I got a ring for your ass. I see you, motherfucker. And I want to talk about Creflo Dollar coming back now, saying that tithing is not biblical. We'll get to all of that Wednesday night, man. I'm gonna let y'all get some rest. Y'all done heard enough of my pontification. Courtney, I gave it up for the brothers because these brothers is doing big things in the community before you joined us. So I want to give you a chance to talk about what you got going on right now, juice and whatnot.
So this Sunday, I will be at the Makers Market at the goddamn Discovery World from 10 to 4. So make sure y'all show up. It's gonna be maybe like 50 other vendors there. It's the summer market, so it's gonna be a wonderful thing. I'm thinking of us maybe like 2 other markets I think I want to do. I'm gonna let y'all know if I do. But this Sunday, Milwaukee Makers Market, I will be there. And hold on, Kev, don't think we have a book. Don't y'all think we didn't have a book? We have The Magic of Thinking Big. Ooh, do y'all think big or y'all think small? Kev, you thinking big? I know real thinking big and shit. You been thinking big, Kev?
I don't know if I even think anymore. I don't know.
You an outlaw. We the word mob. Of course you do. So I'm not even. I just asked you to write my whole script so I can go change the world. I asked you to write it so I can go change the world. So we know you think big. You got the whole plan, Kev.
I just talk a lot of shit. I don't have a plan at all.
So everybody, this is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. I'm assuming that's a white man. Schwartz. He's not black.
Jewish.
But
Jewish.
Thank you, Kev. So yes, this is The Magic of Thinking Big. You know, if y'all want to see or read about how your thoughts and things can manifest and work into your life, and thinking big can change your life and can affect the way that things are going for you. I mean, you don't need this book. This is a good book, but there are, I mean, you can just Google it if you wanted to. You go on YouTube if you want to, and you know, look up the magic of thinking, the magic of thought, the magic of words. You can type up all types of shit, but this is the book of the night, though. The Magic of Thinking Big.
Is that the same as like affirmations? Kind of saying like, you know, I'm going thinking big. Is that saying I'm, or when people say speak it to an existence and it'll manifest? Is that kind of the same thing? You say thinking big, or is that what we're talking about?
To me, I would say it's the same thing. Trying to manifest it, thinking about it, trying to visualize it. You know, sometimes they even include a little sex magic in there. You could think about these things, visualize things while you fucking, or while using your vibrator or jacking off, whatever. Think about those big things. Think about 5Gs in your bank account. See your bank account and you using your phone to log in. It's kind of hard to think about that sometimes when you're using the vibrator because you're trying. But you know, you got a good battery, it won't even matter. So you got a brand new battery, nigga. You think you talking about money, use that. Don't want me, Cam. This is real shit.
That's real shit, though. That's real
right,
shit.
well, I knew Rail was going to agree. That's real shit right there. That's real, boy.
Hey, man, orgasmic energy is one of the most powerful forces that we have. You know, it's called sex magic.
I got
What,
5
you and Rail, you and Rail come up with the most. Rail was about gorilla pimping and bitches giving it up, and now he compared that to
that's politics.
Hey, that's real, man. Because you know, when you talk about manifestation, when you talk about manifesting, you know what I mean. Different things in your life. It's about having passion behind it and energy. You know what I mean? And that's during the time like when you actually going through the moment. You know what I mean? That climax moment. That's about your most passionate moment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You think about the things that you want to do in your life, that you would like to achieve. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the time, those the right times to send it out into the universe.
Right. You're giving off a bigger magnetic field at that time because you're in a heightened emotional state. So your heart actually, well, your brain and your heart generates electricity, which creates an electromagnetic field. That's how you talk to this realm and tell it what you want.
Yeah.
Call them up.
This is close to what Kamar's always talking about when he's talking about loving on himself.
Hey,
right?
You got to. You better.
You better come on in.
Kamar said, "You admit it, man. You better go love on yourself."
Hey, the world would be a better place if more people did it. You know, shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had too much fun with this shit. This shit should be illegal. Check this out, man. We're gonna be back Wednesday night for Outlaw Radio. We're gonna talk some more shit and make some more controversial statements and bad jokes and all that kind of shit. But we're gonna have a damn good time doing it. I hope y'all get with Kamar. I hope y'all get with Rel. I hope y'all get with Courtney. when these brothers and sisters talk about these places that they're gonna be in, these products that they have, support them, man. Support, man, because ain't nobody gonna do for us like us, man. And like I always tell you, man, you can never, ever, ever, ever allow people to tell you what you should and should not do as a black person. Because like they say, you may have done the things they said you did, but you are not who they say you are.
Peace.
All right, man.